too.
Apologies for the lateness. That's on me.
It's fine.
I
Work
forgot
happens.
to add the third frame for light, and so I had to scramble that. Owen is upstairs,
Oh,
freaking out, screaming for some
oh.
sort of injury. We don't know what happened, but underneath his tongue is bruised, so he must have bumped
What did
his
he do
mouth or
that?
something.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Like you running up the stairs and he was doing a la 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 la.
Apparently, it's my sister's birthday, and the girls were wrapping presents, and he was taking like the wrapping paper tube and like using it like as a trumpet, like screaming into it.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it bumped and like went under his tongue or something.
That makes sense now.
And it's really sensitive under there too. So
Yeah. So he's not having a great time upstairs, but
That's fair. That's fair. And no chimney. Well, don't want to.
why would you say something? It's been a good day on that front, Joe.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I do have to say before we guess the game, and then I gotta let the family know that I'm recording. We do have the best community ever, because when I read some of these questions, everybody, y'all are amazing. Just through the Jiminy, like references alone.
Okay.
There's a question you, Kyle, must read. It's just great.
All right. I'm excited.
This is great. All right, you all begin to guess the game. I don't.
What do you think of this popcorn or mushroom game is? Because that's what I see. I see like popcorn kernels.
I see like mushroom clouds, some sort of bomb dropping. So maybe some war or something.
Yeah. Let's just do a Call of Duty. Nope. Oh.
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 Not at all what I saw.
70% of Metacritic. I've got nothing.
Okay, the only thing I can think of is that little ski game you would play on the old PC.
There's
the snowman would chase you.
Really? I don't know that.
It was like built in. It was built into the game software where it had like a bunch of little games, and there was like a ski one where you had to run away. It's definitely not that, but that's all I can think of.
Oh,
what is this? A
wait,
Vita game?
Oh.
I'm out. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I think it's I Am Setsuna.
You were the smart one there. Just I was like, and didn't buy one. Everybody just has a little bit too much of a love affair with the Vita.
Whoa, the Vita was ahead of its time.
Okay. I know, I loved it, but let's speak truth to power.
How dare you? Oh. That's right. Silkano was with me. He got I Am Setsuna.
There you go. What's the next one on our list?
Some dork ass shit right here.
This.
Oh, the artwork says that snowman skiing game's called Avalanche.
That sounds right. It was like Chip's Challenge was in that little pack too.
Okay.
The Chip.
Chip's Challenge.
Joe, this seems like a U game.
Something tells me Metroid.
Prime?
Just do it. See what's up.
I feel like you cheated if this is right.
If this is right,
no,
yeah, you can.
Not. Okay.
No. Wait, navigation. 78. Oh my god, do Starfield.
No.
It'd be funny though.
Really? Joe.
See, the art to me looks like an Unreal Tournament or something like that. Well, not now, but the first two did.
Oh. System
Original
Shock?
PC.
It was the text for me, Tegan. I did not.
Okay.
It was like kind of Fallout-ish. You know?
That's fair. The Bethesda text.
Yes.
I think it's System Shock. So Kenneth's with me. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh,
the PC in 1994, and then current consoles this year. That's what got it for me. Adam and Chess says, congrats to 100K, Light.
Thank you.
Yeah, first off, everybody, a round of applause. Holy crap.
I only cried 3 times yesterday. I was really proud of myself.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite the accomplishment.
Hot damn.
Also, let me rephrase that. I was really proud of myself for only crying 3 times, not for the.
No, I say that's quite an accomplishment. I would have been crying all day.
Yeah. I would have been. You know what I would have done when we hit 100K, I'm gonna call up my biggest hater. Like, you're not gonna believe this.
I'll make sure to block your number that day, Joe. Wanda in chat says hi, Keegan.
Hi. Wait, is it up right now?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is up.
Oh my lord. There it is. I didn't refresh it.
It's all good. It's all good.
What is this
Hi, everybody.
thing? Is this a stellar blade?
Or near.
Oh, or near?
Either, yeah, let's do near first, and then if not, Stellar Blade, because they kind of go one and the same.
Automata. No.
Ooh, 57.
57.
Eaterlick the Tracker.
I also put the tweet up on the Trophy Room Twitter.
I'm gonna put the Surge.
Ooh.
Nope.
That's a good guess. I would not have thought that.
PS5.
Forgotten.
Jesus Fisto is this person's name right here.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The Forgottens
Ugh.
Operation Zone.
So Candace says Atlas Fallen.
Ooh, that's a good. I would
Let's
name my
see.
person Jesus Fisto.
That's not cheater. Was it called Atlas Fallen? Because Atlas Fallen didn't pop up when I typed all that in.
Let me see.
No.
And I am not cheating. So Candace says.
I'm retweeting the tweet. I promise.
Oh, you take your time. 57 action. Oh my god. Why does this look? Type in wanted.
It looks.
Oh. The
There's
game
like
with
this
like
game
the
called-
pink Wanted Dead?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's not it.
No.
Here's Jesus Fisto again.
I feel like these are people's names that they got to choose because there's also
Yeah.
like Russian or something that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought Jesus Fisto was an actual character name.
I wish now.
I got it. First Descendant.
Oh, so Canada just put that in chat too.
Oh, then it has to be right.
Wasn't that a this year thing?
It is. It's 2024.
That's where my brain is right now. I thought
Don't
we were
even
in
worry about it.
2025.
Jesus, wait, you thought it was... Could you tell me who wins the election, please? Oh, God, okay.
Bernie Sanders cashed in.
Oh, my God. And I was the right amount. Everyone gets to cash out. That's Bernie I got.
What's the one where you're the kids in the backyard?
Grounded?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't know if the art is exactly the same, but that's kind of what it's
Not
reminding me of.
Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. Not
What if
that
it
one.
is though? That would be funny.
No, it's not grounded.
Right, okay. 87.
Oh,
though.
this is paper. We're in like a craft.
It Takes Two.
That could be. I haven't played it yet.
I still don't feel like the art right. It was
Vita. Oh,
This is
Tearaway.
older. Yeah.
Tearaway.
I almost said Tearaway at the beginning, but I didn't. Yeah.
Listen, don't let me talk. If you know, just go
No,
for it.
no,
I am not right ever.
I did not hate that idea at all.
I was thinking Psychonauts, a part of me.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, just, got ideas.
Oh,
All right. God, I love this.
easy, right?
Just
Everyone
skip-
knows this one.
Skip ahead.
This is Croc. Duh.
All right, fine.
No.
I hate when it
Is
does
this?
What, like, I hate when it does this. Too old for it, then don't add it in.
I'm just gonna skip until we see something of
None of us were alive when this game came out.
What is this? On the dresser by your bed in your apartment. It's an address book that contains all your personal and business phone numbers. What? Oh, 2318. Is this a Blade Runner? If I pulled this out.
Can I just say something?
It's not even here.
These don't count if we lose these. MS-DOS, I am pretty sure never really existed.
Yeah, I did. I played it all the time when I was little. So that's all we had access to.
Well, then you should know this guy.
I didn't play this. I played Mario is Missing.
Ooh,
That's what I played.
Dylan Gibbs writes Space Quest.
Hey, let's go for it.
He's just like, I think I was old enough. I was 43.
Here.
Or I am 43.
Blade Runner didn't even pop up.
This sucks.
I feel like this is
Health
Blade
is stupid. Deus Ex.
No, because I think that got a score.
But
and came out.
Deus Ex.
Could be.
Alex Smith would not lead us astray.
Okay, Alex Smith, I'm trusting you. It's not.
Darn it. He led us astray.
93. Oh my god. I'm skipping to the end.
Okay.
Presto Studio. This game, I have nothing.
Listen, I was a year old. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish I was pooping in diapers at this time.
I was
like, this isn't it.
6. I got reminded today in first grade. My mom sent me to school. I went to Catholic school, and every once in a while we would have a dress down day where we
those days were the
wear
best.
uniforms.
Yep.
She sent me to school in what she thought were Power Ranger shorts.
Oh no.
They were Power Rangers boxers.
Oh no.
'Cause she didn't know what boxers were. She just thought they were shorts, and the whole day, like, the flap was wide open, and everyone could see my tiny whities. It was bad.
Oh, thank God you wore tiny whities.
Of course I
that.
did. What do you? I thought they were shorts. What are you talking about? I would never. I was in first grade.
I remember, like, boxers were. This is a clip. They were invented in the 90s, right?
I don't know.
Because there was a big debate in our house. We're like, do we wear?
I'm skipping.
Like,
I don't know what this is. I would have
like,
never
do we
gotten
wear-
the Journeyman Project.
Never even heard of that. That one doesn't count.
No.
Mm-mm.
Shout out to my mom though for getting me Power Rangers boxers.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are cool.
I just so you know, I did the intro for you.
Oh, thank you.
Jesus, Kyle. Jesus, why was I was gonna call you Luke, Kevin, and then Kyle? Jesus, what's wrong with me? I gotta
Does
fix
my
my brain.
friendship mean nothing to you?
Apparently.
I don't know what this is.
This just looks like Catan to me, so that's all my brain can think of.
I like Catan.
Let's put Catan.
Why not?
Catan VR.
VR.
2-0 for
Ooh,
Metacritic. Is that a Mario Cloud?
It looks like a Mario Cloud, but
Is this the Game Boy one?
let's do that one.
Super Mario World 2?
Game Boy. Game Boy Super Mario.
Yes, I did put Alper Mario. Let's not. They can't see it. Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry, I got the tiniest the keyboard in the world.
Let's do 6 golden coins. Yeah, there we go.
What?
Every single time you've gotten it on the third time. That's really impressive.
It's really impressive.
There's
Oh my God.
so much brain power I could have used for more important things like taxes or making sure I don't forget birthdays.
Oh my
Me
God.
and my
Speaking
friend
of,
would
how about
work-
I just realized I missed my dad's birthday a month ago. Today, I realized it.
Oh no.
I'm going to call him tomorrow and be
Yeah.
like, so, world's worst daughter. Better late than never.
Love you too, I guess.
Oops.
He's just gonna hang up, call you back a month from now. Don't worry, it happens.
It would be funny. It would be really funny if he was your 100,000th subscriber. And he did that to be like, hey, you're not going to wish happy birthday? I'm going to do that. Major milestone in your life? It's because of me.
Or he unsubs.
That's why I was stuck at 9999 so long.
Mhm.
Damn. Speaking of my birthday next week, no pressure, but everyone, you owe me a present.
Don't even get me started.
Kyle,
Don't. How dare you?
I have gotten you something, and it
Sure.
is worth the wait.
Sure.
It is worth the wait.
I doubt
My
it.
ADHD Tegan's gotten so bad that I have.
In the history of our friendship, Joe,
Yeah. Okay.
I have bought you upwards of 7 or 8 birthday presents or Christmas presents.
Yeah.
I've gotten 0 from you.
I
excuse
gave
me,
you the cloud
1.
thing.
1.
Yeah.
Just
I
saying.
mean,
Just saying.
well, when you see what I got you, and they're multiple things,
Sure.
and they're really cool,
Okay.
and you are going to use them,
Okay.
it's gonna make up for it.
Sure.
All right, fair enough.
What is this thing?
Looks like a boat.
Yeah.
All right, well, Kyle's off the hook this year, I guess.
I do have some vintage Power Ranger boxers for you.
No. Last thing I need is like why, like a policeman knocking at my door, like why were these mailed to you? You know?
I don't know. I'm skipping.
What do you mean, officer? Why can't I wear these?
Exactly.
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
Oh.
Oh, shoot. I actually had a Dreamcast.
Is this Beautiful Joe or something like that?
Mm-mm. That was GameCube.
I have no idea.
It's just an RPG.
RPG.
I literally just watched people fight about the top 10 Dreamcast games on YouTube over the weekend. Skies of Arcadia?
Okay, let's see.
God, did I pull this out?
New-
A third one again!
Hey!
On the third try. Look at this guy.
You need to play the lottery 3 times.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. I haven't gotten paid yet. I'm at negative $11. The lottery. I'll win the lottery, and they'll be like, "Hey, you have to pay us that amount."
You actually owe us.
It's super awkward, but
Sweet, we did it. That one didn't
All right.
count, so the streak's
Didn't count.
alive. Neither did this one.
Count.
Or
Neither
any of
of
these.
these.
Or any of them.
That's
Nope.
fine.
couldn't tell you.
All right, Chad's gonna look weird for a second while I switch over.
Nope. Ooh, how am I gonna work this intro? It's different now. I'm gonna screw it up. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have to restart it, like always.
No, we're not.
Like old times, Kyle.
We got this.
Okay.
Why did it not fix itself? Hold on. Apparently, Joe, your lights handle on socials, I'm cut into 2, and you can't even see light. I thought I did this correctly the first time.
It's all good. No pressure. New
Okay.
Age Prometheus says, "Hello, Light. Love your braids."
Hey, New Age. Thank you. Hi, friends.
Yeah.
I see you all in there. Thanks for popping over here.
Power Stone. Jonathan Kelly writes, live chat check. Check.
Check,
Jonathan,
check.
Check.
We're a little delayed,
Nisa.
but we're there.
Coming in with the memberships to Dylan Gibbs, to
Woo!
the Rahim, OG Frost, Sindula, Jax. Thank you so much. Nisa says, more green people. Woo!
Thanks, Nisa. Whoop, whoop.
Let me tell you guys something. I've been working on those little doodads, emotes or whatever.
What are you
They call
reading?
them doodads. These newfangled doodads. Kyle, I just found out that I can speak into Siri and text comes out of it. I've been. And I just found out because like people have thought I've been like talking real sarcastic to them or whatever.
Mhm.
They can't take my tone. They're like, just text out an emoji so you know like you're not being an ass or anything. I'm like, I'm using voice to text. They're like, just say the emoji, and I did. I'm like, oh my god, it works. I'm like winky face. It's just a winky face. It blows my mind. I'm not a smart man or bright one.
My favorite emote, I have one that's someone drinking Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
Because, that's my life.
I like that.
I know
Yeah.
know we're running behind and we're gonna get started in a
Yeah,
second.
that's all right.
I got very excited today because I saw apparently at the end of the month of October,
Mhm.
7-Up is coming out with Shirley Temple flavor that you can buy in a can.
Oh my.
Gonna be so gross.
I love
and
Shirley
over
Temple.
here-
Do you not like a Shirley Temple?
Listen, yeah. I know Shirley Temples are good, but that is gonna be gross.
Oh,
I'm telling you
fair.
right now.
That is fair.
I'm thinking
Okay.
I'm gonna look like a distinguished gentleman.
Or in a fancy cup.
Exactly. Pour it in a face.
Nothing
I mean-
says distinguished You know what, Joe? Next event we're at together, or just anywhere, I want you to walk up to the bar in your most distinguished, fancy gentleman voice and go, "Excuse me."
Someone's yelling. 1 second. So
can I order one Shirley Temple, please?
With one of those T-shirts that looks like a tuxedo.
Yep. Absolutely. Extra cherries, please. All right, I think I got it. Yeah, it's good enough. The bottom part will come in once we do the intro part. Chat, thank you for your patience. It's been a very long day.
Goodness.
Yeah, has anyone tried the Oreo Coke?
So I would never.
I haven't either, but just looking at that, it seems nasty.
I'm morbidly curious.
Joe.
Okay, do it for science. That's my channel. We always say for science, so
exactly.
do it for science.
For science. But do you have to buy them by the case?
You could probably buy it like a single bottle from a convenience store or something.
Okay. I thought it was a case. Okay. I know.
Probably. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. We could split it.
You know what?
If
That'd be
that's the
smart
case.
from Coke to be the only way to get it is in a case of like 36.
We need these out quick. All right, Kyle, I'm ready.
I'm ready too. Light, are you ready?
Ready.
Perfect. Chat, we will see you in exactly 16 seconds.
Oh, wait, no longer greatness has arrived. Welcome to episode 395 of The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, this week we chat about our rundown of the September state of play. We talk about whether or not Concord actually costed $400 million. It probably didn't. Ubisoft is in dire straits, and so much more as we do it live each and every single Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on youtube.com/PS Trophy Room and audio services the very next day. Alongside me, the greatest co-host, whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
I'm tired. It's been a day. I got my COVID booster. I got my flu shot same time.
Nice.
A little rundown. Nice. I'm excited to talk more about the state of play.
Yes.
Are we really at episode 395? We're 5 away from 400? Or is this like a bad counting thing?
I think this is about bad counting. I do now think because it's at our 400th episode is in Halloween. Is on Halloween.
Okay.
All right. So that means those are 4. No, I think this is right.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, we're excellent.
Wow,
look at that. Figuring out how counting works.
You said math was hard.
I know. So it really is. I'm still unsure. And that voice is our special temporary third hostess with the mostest, Tegan from Lightweight Gaming. How are you, miss?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited.
I'm super excited. Ever since we announced the news that you are our new yet temporary co-host to the show, because as you all know, family things happening. It looks like I'll be going away mid-October, but I'll be back before episode 400. So it means we got to get Big Teagues in here to fill in for me for the meantime. So that said, I'm so happy to have you here. And everybody's been like, our Discord's been popping off. Social media was popping off. How are you feeling now? You're part of the show.
I'm really excited. You know, obviously a little nervous. You always get nerves when you're doing something new, but I've wanted to do something like this for such a long time. And every time I've had the opportunity to work with you guys, I've just absolutely loved it. And I feel like I glow for days afterwards. So when you asked me, I was just jumping. All the nerves were just like squished, you know? Yeah. Now I have to pretend I know what I'm talking about, though.
Oh, man. I mean,
that's what I do every week. It's fine.
Exactly. And honestly, big same. It was funny because when I thought of this idea back in literally like late August when things were looking their most dire, I was like, it looks like I'm going to need someone to fill in for me for a while. And I was like, who could that be? And I remember having a conversation with the late but yet still great Bobby Paul's the Nintendo guru. May he rest in peace. when I was talking to him about bringing on Kyle to the show, and I was like, and this is even before the trophy room was made. I was like, I need someone that knows PlayStation to fill in my gaps. And I remember the conversation, paraphrasing, but he was just like, just pick the person that you're gonna vibe with. Like, this is the person that's not just gonna be your co-host. They're not just gonna be your friend. They're gonna be your partner through thick and thin. And that bit of advice was the best advice that I've ever gotten because I picked Kyle to be my co-host. He ended up being the greatest one a boy can ask for. And
Yet
the
I
thing
don't
that makes
get gifts.
and one day he's gonna earn one of them. And we've been best friends ever since, you know? And so to me, like, it was about the vibe. And when we chatted with you back in was like July, when we got off that podcast, I felt like the vibes were immaculate.
Oh,
So
yay!
it really was. It was like, this is the greatest vibe check, and to see everybody in the Discord and everybody on socials so excited. I was even getting DMs from folks who were like, "You made the right call here. This is
Aw,
the
stop! I'm
perfect
gonna
fit."
cry.
Yeah.
You can't be nice to me or I cry. Don't do that.
What are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
about in the pre-show? She has her quota.
Yeah.
She hit her quota this week already.
Not allowed to cry anymore.
You're right. Yeah. It was hitting 100K on YouTube, and now, third wheel here on the trophy room. But that said, listen, we have so much to talk about. So very much to talk about. And honestly, not a lot of time to do it because I don't want this to be a 3-hour podcast. So let's get right into it.
I will fall asleep halfway through.
Time for some housekeeping. Of course, our By the Players community show, where we're going to be talking all about Astrobot, is on August 6th. If you have any questions, hit up Marcus O'Neill or Drellish in the Trophy Room Discord server. If you want in, or if you want to see if there's an extra slot available. We are thinking about the next game in November, and maybe whisper at them or DM them, however Discord works, and give them your suggestions of what games you'd be interested in talking about in November. It's always a fun time, and it goes straight to the Patreon right after we are done recording it. And then, guys, listen, episode 400 is literally in 4 episodes. We did the math. We're pretty sure it checks out. Their new merch is on the horizon, and I literally talked to one of our artists to get this done, and they said that this is going to be their most advanced piece of art that they've done. They don't know if they can do it, but they're going to give it a shot.
Why am I hearing about this right now for the very first time?
Because it's a bit of a surprise for
That's
you.
your birthday present.
And I'm not telling you what it is, Kyle. But sometimes you just gotta goon. Sometimes you just gotta goon all the way to the moon. Okay? Sometimes you just gotta goon to the moon. Yes. Absolutely we do. Of course, before we square up the news, it's time for our Patreon pitch. As we do each and every week, I want to thank you all. The reason why we look so great, sound so good, is because of your generosity over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. Want to thank our newest members, HKyle_85 at the bronze tier, Aaron and Tommy at the platinum tier. I want to thank our premium producers, Todd Burowitz and Toxic. I want to thank our platinum members, Jay Shea, Jedi Master Ren, Cowboy Danger D, Jonas Young, The Green Gorilla Gamer, Chaotic Monkey, Rico Kill 90, Stephen Flesh, Strubles and Bits, Bertos Maximos, Chris, Hybrid 748, Matt Valdez, Silcanet, Decimine, and Mitchell Gramling, and Mike Thomas. I want to thank our gold members, Cypher Primus, Darth Simon the Pie Man, Jesse Garcia, JB the Purple Monkey, Hyde Indoors, Katie, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Diaz, Mark O'Neill, The Red Arrow, Aegis Hermit, Androsaur, Astronaut Jr., The Renter Gamer, Stingray X, Robbie Bobby Miller himself, Brenton Zachary, Final Fan XZ, Hambone, JD Dillinger, Stone Cold E.T., Tino 6-Speed, N. Johnson, Sean McKenzie, Rick Arrington, Matthew King, The Overlord, Diwane Raksha, Drellish, Rick Davis, Steph Midler, Samuel Nestling, Maximum Carnage, Solo, Big G, and the Lord Commander Suddy. I want to thank you all for helping out the ways that you can. Again, over at patreon.com/PS Trophy Room. If you ever got you through a long car ride, tough day at work, whatever your situation may be, it really does help us out. Even if it's just $1 our month, head on over to Patreon and yeah, help us out. And you get a whole bunch of bonus episodes for doing so. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that nice? With that, Kyle, I've talked too much and I'm too excited and I got too much caffeine in me. So it's time to square up the news.
Before I get to it, when we get to Flash news about the 30th anniversary, remind me to read a tweet. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I
fair
think
enough.
it's outrageous. A little tease for later. Let's square up the state of play. The state of play yesterday started off with Astrobot DLC. We got a glance at snippets of the 5 new speedrun levels and the 10 new bots Astro will have to rescue, including some Helldivers and Eve from Stellar Blade. Curiously, Team Asobi did not provide a release date for the DLC, sticking with the nebulous fall 2024 window.
Ooh-wee.
Are we going to go one by one or just go through them all?
I feel like if there's something we'd like to say, just jump in. But go for it, Kyle.
I was going to say, start off with this one. I think my favorite part of Astro's Playroom are the speedrunning challenges. So to have new ones here that is not only just for leaderboards, but to unlock new bots, I think is very, very fun. Interesting, because I've rewatched the state of play like 4 or 5 times. I like watching live reacts and people live react to them. So interesting to note that I feel like they're hinting at this DLC being more than just the speedrun levels.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Because the way he said it, we have a lot more to discuss about this DLC. It's similar to what his wording was.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if it's going to be another like world galaxy. Maybe that's where the Square Enix characters are. Who knows? But
I want to. Before we get right into that, I do want to read Nisa's super chat that writes, I knew lightweight gaming was going to be picked. Oh my goodness. This window's going crazy. Technology. I knew light was going to be picked the third person. I could feel it. And you know what? I feel like we made the right call.
Thank you.
So much, Nisa.
Your spidey senses were tingling.
I know, right? I love it. Nisa always has her her hand on the dial. I love it. I don't know. Do you think that there's like more DLC on the horizon, or like this DLC is like bigger than you think?
Bigger than just speedrun levels.
Okay. That's extra exciting too, because it's free, right?
Yes.
That's what they said. So I was excited for free content with just the speedruns, but if there's extra content too, and that's still free, that's really cool.
Not confirmed or anything. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it just sounded like there was more than just these speedrun levels.
Now, how are we feeling about Astrobot a few weeks after release? I know, Tegan, you've been still like tackling it, but you're enjoying it, right?
I'm loving it. I'm just playing it slowly because I wanted to record the whole game and put it as one video versus like a let's play, because I figured it just didn't lend itself really to that as well. So I've just been taking my time with it, and that's been lovely. I do like one nebula a sit down, and that's just been so much fun. And then I go back and I clean up what I missed, and that's just been the best. So I feel like as soon as I beat it, I'm gonna have more content, and that's perfect with me.
Yeah, that's gonna be
I like
nice.
how that's gonna work out.
Yeah. What about you, Kyle? As someone, you've rolled credits on it, I believe, right?
I have.
How are we feeling on it?
One of my favorite platformers I played in a very long time. It's really good.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm excited for this DLC for sure, but I'm also excited about the next game on the list here.
Hell is Us, or as I heard other people say it, Hell is Us. You'll have to go about defeating the faceless supernatural beings that have taken over your world.
Ooh, creepy. I want to give Light credit here because you said it. This looks like Ghostwire, and then I said meets Death Stranding vibes. The artwork is just I love artwork that I can't describe on a podcast, and I just tell you guys, just watch the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch the trailer. This looked really unique. I don't know.
Can
this
I
was
add
one of the highlights.
My game into that, so we each have a familiar game. Returnal.
Triforce.
I got some Returnal vibes as well.
Ooh. I like that.
Alex in chat saying hell is sus.
I thought for a while a few good hours, I was like, hell is in us.
Oh.
But yeah, I know I don't like it. I was like, I don't like it. It makes me feel weird. But no, this looks really interesting. This looks really unique. I'm in.
Was it Hell Is Us? I was watching kind of funny, and I think it was Hell Is Us. They were saying that the devs came out and said there's like not going to be a map. It's a Souls-like, but there's no map. It's very like and someone correct me if this is not the right game that they were talking about, but there's like no markers. There's no like, here's a quest log. It's very much like you talk to this person and they talk about something and you have to kind of remember that and go.
No.
And so it's going to be more challenging on that end.
Okay.
Which
I'll bring a
sounds
notepad.
intriguing, but also I don't know if I have the mental capacity for that right now.
I
So that
definitely
might not
don't.
be a me game right now.
I definitely don't.
But
It sounds like, and that's it sounds like they took a little bit of an idea of like Elden Ring with like the golden path and went just like, forget the golden path. You're gonna write this down in a notebook, just like the good old days of like when you didn't have an IGN walkthrough. I like that. I don't know. I think it's cool.
We'll see.
All right, Kyle, you tell us why we should get excited about these
Lunar
next year.
Remastered was announced. Beloved old JRPGs from the PlayStation 1 era. Really cool that they're bringing back older PS1 games in a remastered form or in a collection for more people to play it, because those games physically are expensive. They are very expensive. So I have never played one. I've seen that game cover a ton just because, again, it's iconic for its it being like one of the first ones to have like anime cutscenes in a JRPG. And I just remember the game. It's like this thick. Like it comes with multiple discs, and
wow.
I think it's soundtrack and whatnot. It's very cool that people get to play it, including myself. And yeah, this is fun. More remasters of this, I think, would help everyone get over their remaster hatred on the internet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
from a game preservation standpoint, I
Yes.
love that too, because if more people can get their hands on it, and it's, obviously it's not going to be the original, but still it's nice
Agreed.
to see that there are more people can play it, more people can experience it, and more people can own it.
Yeah. And like for fans who are curious about this as well, like is there going to be a physical release? There will be. So, there you go. Kyle, you're a real physical sicko out there, so
Come on, don't stop it.
this is right up your alley, dude.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if my PlayStation will be able to play physical games anymore at that point, but who knows? We'll see.
Who knows?
It can for an extra fee.
Hey!
Yeah, we love that.
Next up, The Midnight Walk. From the creators of Lost in Random comes a claymation-style game with some rather Tim Burton-esque art. We do not yet have a release window for The Midnight Walk, but you'll be able to play it on PSVR 2 or PS5.
All right, so comes from Thunderful, Lost in Random, very unique game, but like you said something on the show last time when we were doing our reactions. This claymation gives you the ick.
It doesn't
Why
give
is
me the
that?
ick. It just creeps me out. I don't know why. Things that shouldn't scare me do, and things that should don't. But for whatever reason, I can't. Even kids' movies that are claymation, like Tim Burton, I just can't watch Tim Burton. It creeps me out. I don't know why. I have no idea
That's
why.
fair.
So
I'm thinking maybe it's the way the clay moves.
it could be. It really
Yeah.
could be. Just
That's fair.
I don't know.
Is it-
It's just
What was
heebie-jeebies
that
a little bit.
one? It was like the alien and like the caveman. That used to give me the heebie-jeebies. It was on Nickelodeon. It was like a 1 minute thing. No?
I don't know.
All right.
I didn't have
enough.
cable growing up, so sheltered.
I know. Oh my God, we gotta save her. That's why you never see like classic movies. Oh my goodness.
True.
I know. Okay, we're gonna give you like a whole list. It starts with The Rock. Kyle, your thoughts on The Midnight Walk?
Oh, I think it looks outstanding.
Yeah?
I'm a fan of Lost in Random. I never finished it, but that studio is awesome. The people behind that and this. I believe I also watched the Kind of Funny Live React Light, and I feel like it was Andy who said it, but he said something that made me laugh. People are always looking for more frames, but games that use like stop motion and lower frames look prettier and stand out more in a showcase. I thought that was a very, very fun way to like frame it.
Yeah.
But And it's cool that this is a game you can play on PSVR, but you don't need a VR to experience the whole thing. Please keep doing that.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah. This is actually, I think this one is a day one for me. For sure. it looks so unique. And yeah, like the claymation style speaks to me. And it does give me the ick a little bit, but like in a good way. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll check this out. So yeah. Midnight Walks at Get. Kyle?
Monster Hunter Wilds. Lengthy trailer. Releases on PS5 on February 28th, 2025, along with, I think, the Like a Dragon pirate game is also February 28th, 2025. So, ending February at a bang. Or in a bang?
Please.
At a bang? Whatever.
Yeah, with a bang. Let me tell you, first off, enough with the games in February. Second off, enough with showing us Monster Hunter Wilds trailers.
Please. Just release it.
Yeah, exactly. Just please. We're done.
Hey, guess what? TGS is going to be a Capcom presentation, and guess what's being shown there?
Oh, no more? Okay. It's not even that the game looks bad. The game looks great.
It's been 3 consecutive months of a massive Monster Hunter trailer.
Yep.
And every time it's such a long trailer. Like you said, it's a massive trailer. It's not just like a little tease. It's not just a, hey, don't forget about our game coming out. It's like a lot of information. And I guess if you are a huge Monster Hunter fan, it's probably exciting, but also you don't want to see that much. Like, let me be surprised. Let me experience it. So, I don't know.
Oh, also, Tommy, welcome, fellow trophy hunter, becoming a member of the channel. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm in. I'll be getting this as long as I got a good posse with me to go play with.
Not
which
me.
Seems like it's neither of you guys. All right, cool.
Sorry.
I'll try it. I'll try it.
Yeah, there you go. I'll take a yay. All right.
For science.
For science, Kyle. Not even for science?
Yeah.
All right, fire. As long as I could be either the big sword guy or like the dual wielding guy, I'm good.
Who says you can't? Even if you play with other people.
I'm just calling dibs.
Okay.
All right. Don't question it, Kyle. Don't question it. Gosh darn.
You're the kid when you would play like the X-Men arcade game. You're like, I'm Colossus and no one else can be Colossus.
Yes.
I'm Leonardo in the Turtles game. No one else can touch him.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I would be Mikey, but yes.
I mean, wrong choice, but it's fine. Stellar Blade DLC was announced. Shift Up announced the upcoming Stellar Blade Cross Nier Automata DLC, packed with exciting new content. Did you write this or did you take this from the blog?
Oh, sorry. I took this from the blog, a little bit from IGN, a little bit from VG247, just to let you guys know.
The reason I asked, because exciting new content, I don't know if I would call it that. On the same day, a new photo mode feature will be added to Stellar Blade for all the sickos, that's me, not them, and be available to all players. More soon on the DLC, including its release date. There's also a big soundtrack, I think, also available.
Yep, on Spotify, yeah. I mean, I already beat the game and platted it, so if I was partaking in the photo mode, it was only to be a creep, so no thanks.
I feel
we're all thinking it.
To be fair, okay,
yes.
I only played like, I don't know, an hour and a half of that game. And I had fun with it, but I just have too many games. Yeah, but that game wants you to be a creep. Okay? She even slides down the ladder. Like it's a stripper pole, and then every time she exerts herself, she grunts like it's not an exertion grunt in that way. So they knew what they're doing. They're being horny. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know where I heard this from. I honestly, I would love to give them credit, but apparently it's like over there, like in South Korea, like extracurricular magazines of that nature.
Okay.
Porn is basically outlawed there, and that's why a lot of things of like that nature like sneak their way into Stellar Blade. I forget where that's from. I don't even know if it's real or true, but apparently that's what the kids are saying.
Speaking of what the kids are saying, Power World is out on PS5 today, but not in Japan, which is weird. Or is it?
It is weird. It isn't. Yeah, they put out a tweet in Japanese. Don't know how to read it, so I couldn't check it out. But yeah, Power
You know
World.
Google has a translate thing, right?
It would take too much time. Listen, this week's show notes were very long.
I'm
I
just
did
kidding
say
you. It's fine.
extensive, sir. Yeah, I've been playing it, and I'll talk about more of that in the what you've been playing section.
Yeah.
But I have thoughts.
I'm happy you decided to give them money to fund the lawsuit.
That's part of it. I always want to fund the underdog, you know?
Metro Awakening VR arrives on November 7th.
Mhm.
Archage?
Yes.
Chronicles is
Archage, yeah.
releasing in 2025. It's a multiplayer game. We got a new trailer for Archage Chronicles, an upcoming Souls-like with a medieval setting and big scary bosses. The land of Aurora awaits you.
We all said that this looked really good. It's not an MMO, but it looks like some multiplayer elements. Are we thinking about jumping in on this one? Light, what say you?
Probably not. If
Alright,
there
fair
wasn't
enough.
a million other things coming out, like within 2025, maybe. But
Yeah.
it's not a dry year. So unfortunately, since that's not my go-to game, I think that's probably what I'm gonna have to pass for now. You know, maybe if it gets good reviews, I'll add it to the backlog. But at this point, there's too many other things I'm excited for, so I don't think I'll jump into that.
Same. I'm gonna wait for a score at the moment because I think we were talking about this on the reactions. It's like, Wukong came out, we bought into the hype, the FOMO was real, and then I have not touched Wukong, since we got Outlaws codes, and so
Mhm.
I need to
Yep.
jump back into it. I've really enjoyed it, but I got no time.
Mhm. And those are games where you pretty much, for me at least, I have to be playing those exclusively because it doesn't come natural for me yet.
Mm-hmm.
So if I play other things, it just messes me up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the muscle memory.
Mhm.
It's like for me, if I play a Souls like and the dodge is not on the circle button, I don't play that game.
I
I
forgot
can't
what
do it.
game I switched to. It
Mm.
was 22. When did Forbidden West come out? Was that 22 or 23?
22,
22?
because Elden Ring came out that year.
Yeah. It was Elden Ring. I stopped
Mhm.
Forbidden West. I played Elden Ring, and then it took me months to go back to Forbidden West, and I couldn't remember any of the controls. I'm like, what is happening? I can't.
Mhm.
I can't do this. I had to relearn. It was.
At that point, I'm like, I gotta just restart.
Mhm.
I think I did. I don't
Yeah.
remember what happened.
Yeah.
That's how I was with the DLC. I never finished the Burning Shores DLC because I took a break and then I went back in. And I was like, I don't remember how to play this. I was dying from the simplest thing, so I was like, I should not be dying right now.
Mhm. I'm like, a stalker's getting me. What's up with this? Yeah, I'm the same way. But play Burning Shores. You're gonna really dig it. I think the Burning Shores is actually my favorite part of that game.
I think I was almost done too, which is the worst part.
Ooh, okay. Fair. Yeah.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge Radical Reptiles DLC is free and out now. A new Shredder's Revenge DLC was announced yesterday and it's already out. You can currently download the new content for free, which includes a remix soundtrack and I believe Mona Lisa and I forgot the other reptile's name, but
That's
two
fair.
new characters.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Michelangelo. Kyle, you seem like a bit of a dork. You like Leonardo.
Yes. Blue's my favorite
Worst.
color. That's why
Such a
I'm Leo.
goody two shoes. Oh my gosh. Now, like, you were seemingly robbed of a childhood, no TV.
Well, we had TV, just not cable. So the
Okay.
only TMNT that I am familiar with was the live action one
The Michael Bay
my
ones?
from the
goodness.
90s.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. We got real nervous there.
Those
was
were
your
my
favorite?
first introduction to the
Who would-
Turtles. by the
okay.
way.
If you had to guess, who would you think? Based on my personality. Just curious.
Something says Splinter. Master Splinter.
Okay, as an
Really?
adult now, that would be
Yeah.
my hear me out. But no, as a kid, it was Raphael.
Raphael. Oh, Raph?
Mhm.
I could not.
He was the cool one.
Yeah.
He was cool, but he was always angry.
He had that
Like,
trench
always, like-
coat.
Yeah.
I gotta watch those
God.
movies again.
Yeah.
Or
They're
introduce them to the girls and have that and see what they think of it.
good. 100%.
They're
100%.
gonna be like,
you
Kai
gotta do that.
Kai, this is terrible.
You're like, you need to be cultured.
I tried to introduce them to the Goonies because it's my favorite
Oh.
movie of all time. And they're like, this is dumb. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
This movie's a
Yeah.
classic.
You're grounded.
Exactly. We've got Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered coming out on December 10th. The remaster comes with improved visuals for PS5 and PS4 and is arriving on the 25th anniversary of the original's release. Very excited to finally play these games.
I've never have. I've only heard good things. I'm very interested to take a peek. And I think December 10th might be like the perfect time as it's like winding down. I don't know. What say you, Light?
I'm excited for these. After our stream, I left my recording space. My husband was jumping around and he's like, Soul Reaver, Soul Reaver, Soul Reaver. And I was like, okay, I guess I gotta play these.
Such
I
good
love that.
character design too. Like,
Yeah.
he looks so cool.
He looks really
does.
cool. I didn't know he doesn't have a jaw.
Yeah, what is he? He looks like part mummy, part vampire. Like what's going on?
I don't
was cool.
I don't know the lore. Yeah.
Someone give me a deep dive in chat.
Yeah. So yeah. But also part of me, just a little part. Whatever is going on, I think I could fix it.
Oh God.
I just watched a video of people that had a hear me out party,
Oh.
and they had a cake and everyone brought their hear me out. He would definitely be on ND5, him.
Yep.
That is such a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah, it
We
was
should
really
have
cute.
Hear Me Out here, like on the show sometime. That'd be
Oh
fun.
my god,
Yeah.
let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah, I look at ND5 and I'm like, this better not awaken anything.
Oh no, the second he talked, I was like, sign me up. give me that book.
I will drink the Kool-Aid. Hitman 3 VR Reloaded is arriving in December.
All right.
Is it just 3 or is it the whole trilogy on PSVR 2?
It looks like the whole trilogy because there's
Cool.
some Hitman 2 in there.
Sweet.
So I'm itching to play it again.
This
Maybe
is
these.
one of those things where I wish I had a VR that I could play.
Oh yeah.
Mackenzie in chat says he's a soul reaver, soul vampire of sorts.
Oh,
That makes sense.
okay. All right.
Fantasia Neo Dimension, upcoming RPG, will be arriving on PS5 on December 5th. It's a tactical game from the creators of Final Fantasy. If I'm
Oh.
not mistaken, it is on mobile.
Okay.
So it's making the console jump,
Debut.
I think.
Hmm.
Uh,
Kyle, you're a Final Fantasy guy.
This
not doing
one
it?
did nothing for me.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
okay. Well, shucks.
Uh,
All right, but this one will.
how dare you?
Go on.
Keanu Reeves will headline a Sonic Cross Shadow Generations DLC. Keanu will be the voice of Shadow in a movie pack that have levels inspired by the movie with him voicing Shadow. But I don't think Shadow will be voiced by him in the main game, just this little bit.
Just this
Oh, that's
bit.
kind of disappointing though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I get it, but also.
sure.
it's all Sega could afford.
I'm happy for all you Sonic sickos.
That's right. You make me sick to my stomach.
You're the scum beneath my toes.
Oh my god.
Can you name the movie? Either of you name that movie?
I'm gonna guess the Goonies because you just said
You're
that's your
close.
favorite.
No.
Damn.
Ooh. Goonies 2.
I've got a dollar. I got a dollar. I got a dollar. Hey, Little Rascals.
Okay.
How dare you?
Add it to
Anyways,
the list of things I need to watch.
Lego Horizon Adventures. Whoopi Goldberg's in it. Horizon Adventures. Oh, actually, now that I think of it, Donald Trump shows up to one of the kids' doors.
Does he
in that
really?
movie. I think so.
Oh boy.
It's,
Insert inappropriate joke there. Okay.
All right.
Lego Horizon.
Do you have any
Adventures.
dogs? Sorry. Lego Horizon Adventures arrives November 14th.
The deluxe edition comes with costumes featuring Sackboy, Ratchet, and Rivet. I did catch.
Yes.
There was another one. Remember the clip from the trailer where they're all like dancing in their
Yeah.
outfits? The one on the right is like all silver Aloy, and I saw in the like what they named it, like in the deluxe edition or whatever.
Mhm.
It's Alloy Aloy costume. Like it's
I
I was like, Lego,
Oh,
I like what you're doing.
Now, here's a question for you guys. Lego Horizon coming to the Nintendo Switch, very exciting. But then it also introduces them to Sackboy, Ratchet, and Rivet. Do you guys think Switch 2 on the horizon? Maybe it is in a week. And yes, pun intended. It gets announced, revealed. Do you think we're going to see another PlayStation game? Perhaps one of these two on the Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Pre-order incentive. Why put a Ratchet? You know, give it a little homage.
Will those be available on the Switch version?
They will be.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would make sense,
right?
Why not?
Yeah.
Right. Like, are you much of a Nintendo dork? Is your husband?
No, unfortunately. I
That's
never had a Nintendo system, so I'd go to my cousin's house and we play Super Mario, but that's
Okay.
pretty much all I've got. I had a Game Boy Color, so
Oh, fair
I
enough.
did play a little bit on
Yeah.
that. But I was never super into
Fair.
Nintendo. I
Kyle,
do have a Switch, but
wasn't the Switch your first Nintendo console? No. Oh, okay. It was the Xbox.
Xbox
One was
One
whatever.
was my first Xbox.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. As a huge Nintendo dork, like I like Nintendo as like I like watching them from afar. I'm not like someone that likes to get deep into the knowledge of Nintendo because or else like it just ruins the allure. It's like when you I don't know, when you do a little like research into Walt Disney and you're like, "Oh no, it kind of ruins the Walt Disney magic." I'm scared to Google Shigeru Miyamoto just in case. So like I'm very excited. I would definitely play like Ratchet and Clank on the Nintendo Switch too. What about you, Kyle?
Absolutely. Why not?
Okay.
Ratchet on the go? Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Following LEGO Horizon Adventures, we've got finally confirmed Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. This launches on October 31st on PS5 and PC. It features over 10 hours of re-recorded conversation mocap and countless graphical improvements that bring the game to the same visual fidelity as its critically acclaimed sequel for Horizon Forbidden West and takes full advantage of PS5's power and features. This remastered version is a $9.99 upgrade, and it's available on both PS5 and PC for owners of Horizon Zero Dawn, the Complete Edition or the Base Edition. This includes users who got Horizon Zero Dawn during PlayStation's Play at Home program. The game will cost $50 for new players, and you will receive the Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition.
All that controversy for what's seemingly a $10 upgrade. X Bacon writes, because of course he would.
Oh, yeah.
The Nerd Chat asks, when is the Astrobot remaster coming? Question mark. LOL. But on a serious note, will you be buying the upgrade of Horizon and playing it again, asking for a friend? His name's Logan. I'll send this over to you, Light. As a fan of Horizon, do you think upgrading for $10, maybe experiencing it for the first time, maybe earning some free trophy or $10 trophies? What say you? Does this entice you to jump back in?
absolutely. I love Horizon. I know people have been kind of jumping on the Horizon hate bandwagon recently, because everybody hates everything now. But I'm a big Horizon fan, big Horizon girly, and it's $10. So I'll absolutely be playing this because that cost me less than my pack of Dr. Pepper these days. So why wouldn't I?
That's fair.
And I think it looked beautiful, especially I pooped on the PS5 Pro and I was like, we don't need that, but I'll probably end up getting the PS5 Pro, and I bet on that it's going to be stunning. So I definitely will, because that's one of those games that I have played through multiple times and I've loved it just as much every single time. I love the world. I love how the story unfolds with that. So that'll be a purchase for me.
What about you, Kyle?
Oh yeah, day one.
Fair enough.
I might even get the actual physical $50 edition. I don't care.
Just to spite someone?
Sure. I love Horizon so much. And I also love how the nerd chat in our chat says, I didn't ask that question. To me, it is such the way they did this, having it being a $10 upgrade, I think does not hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. If I was anyone who made something and then the sequel is so much better in terms of quality and fidelity and whatnot, I would love to go back and take the first one and bring it up to that level. And one of the biggest complaints is I've also like played and beaten this game multiple times. The facial animations in that first one are not great. The lip syncing and everything is not great. Yeah. Forbidden West is gorgeous. And to bring the first world up to that level is a no-brainer. I will gladly rebuy it, regardless of how long ago the patch version, the complete version, whatever it was. I don't care. Like, I want to play my favorite things in the best quality. I have bought Final Fantasy VII 12 times.
Don't ask me how many times I bought Skyrim.
Exactly. Like, I will continue buying the things that I love because I love them. And I think that's what the remasters are for. In addition to new fans of the ecosystem that haven't played it or heard about Horizon offhand from somebody like, oh, you should check it out. Here's the best version. It's not for everybody. I get that. But to be so like, it's a waste of Sony's time. It's a waste of Sony's money. Is it though? They've already made a ton of money on this game.
Right. Well, to me, like okay. So will I buy the $10 upgrade? Yes. Do I recommend people going out there buying the $50 version? No. Ixnay on that you can go to GameStop A, buy yourself a PS4 version A, and then get that $10 upgrade. Like think about your wallet first. Though I will say, $10 upgrade. We've seen it for every single director's cut. We've seen it for every single remaster. So this isn't a surprise. I was shocked that people thought this was a surprise. I kind of thought this was a given. But like, if a company pours money into a thing, whether you like it to exist or not, they have the ability to charge you for it, and you have the ability to say no. And for me, I think the outrage for Zero Dawn remake was remaster was very much we don't know the roadmap of Ghost, or of PlayStation. We haven't seen Ghosts yet, and it's really a reaction of like, we don't know what you're working on, Sony, more than I'm upset that this remaster even exists. Because for the same people that are poo-pooing this remaster, well, they're wondering where Bloodborne is, and Bloodborne is only 2 years older. It's like we're picking and choosing what remasters we're getting upset at. And to me, for a great example, when people go like remasters shouldn't exist, dude, I played Resident Evil 4 during lockdown. I couldn't beat it at a certain point because the control schemes were just too archaic. Resident Evil 4 remakes the way I remember Resident Evil 4. It is one of my favorite horror games of all time. And to anybody poo-pooing like people just because they want to experience that game with better controls, I'm sorry, but you're kind of a dick. Like, I think about Green Gorilla. He was talking to me. He's like, dude, he's like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not feeding into the hate or the hype. I never played the first game. He's like, I'm 21. The first game came out when I was, I don't know, 11. Like, he's just a wee little tot in kindergarten. He's like, I want to experience that game, and for it to be in its best quality, that's awesome. This is also PlayStation's obviously one of their tentpole IP that they want to see forward. So I don't poo-poo it. I don't think it's necessary, though I'm not going to, get my pitchfork and torch ready. I think it's just a lot of people are speaking through fanboy lenses when they're talking about remasters.
Well, and it makes sense too, though, because if you think about it, the Horizon show is coming out within the next couple of years, right? So it's kind of following The Last of Us path. Where the show is announced, they want to get new people in. Hopefully, when people watch the show, they're going to play the game, just like what happened with Fallout, just like what happened with The Last of Us. And you don't want them playing this game that is having issues with their lips not lining up with the speech, So why not have the best of the best version out there so that when these people are like, hey, I really like this show, maybe I'd like this game, and they jump in, they have the best of the best. So it makes sense from a business perspective as well.
Yeah. And let's not forget that 2 weeks later, the Lego Horizon game comes out. And there'll be a lot of people on Nintendo play that and be like, oh, this world's cool, even if it's like in a joking form. Oh, there's a new version of the first game that is out. Let's go pick it up and go play.
That's a great point too.
So,
yeah.
I think it just
I
all
remember
works.
And I can't I have to press this as well. I think that point is really great because it's like, also remember the biggest demographic of Switch owners are not kids. They're people in their 20s, 25 to 35 is like their second biggest demographic. So if you could tease people with this lure, then yeah, get them to get the game. Like I just think it makes sense. Again, is it the most needed thing? Would I rather have a Bloodborne remaster
Sure.
/ remake any day of the week?
Absolutely.
But I can't sit here and go, give me my 60 FPS patch and then get angry for Horizon remaster.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Would I have loved in an Infamous remaster or remake? Of course.
Yeah.
But
again, it's like
Horizon's great.
I'd rather this game remade or remastered. Then you're like damning all remasters.
Exactly.
I think it makes sense. Argument's
Exactly.
dumb.
And like I said last week, I feel like we just need to get into or realize and understand that this is just Sony's way of doing things.
Yep.
They wait between 6 to 8 years of when a game comes out, and if it's big enough and worth it, then they'll remaster it.
Yep.
I think
And
it's
again,
just their MMO. They've been doing it since PS3, which is what I said, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago.
And I think that just makes sense as to why, my argument is like, we're just upset there's no roadmap. Dude, there's just as many, if you count the timeline right now, there was more remakes and remasters on PS4 than there were on 5. I didn't see the energy there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just keep it and not just be mad because Sony does it.
Yep. Oh,
there you go. Ooh, got that
boy.
off my chest, Kyle.
Feeling feisty.
Towers
I know,
of
right?
Agaspa announced for early access. Starting in November 2024, you'll be able to start playing the game on PS5. Really cool. I think in addition to not Pillars of Eternity, Path of Exile 2.
Yeah.
Early access coming to PlayStation. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Another early access thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, PSN's getting Steamified.
As long as they do it the right way.
That too.
I'm super excited about this next one. Fear the Spotlight, a PS1-inspired horror game from Blumhouse with a cozy aesthetic and pixelated visuals. You'll be able to enjoy this new horror title starting on October 22nd.
Why does this get you hyped?
I'm excited.
Do you say light or why?
Why?
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Nope, go for it. I misheard.
During SGF, Blumhouse did a thing where they were like, here's 6 horror games that we're making. And this was one of them. This game was done. And I believe it was available for a little bit of time. And then Blumhouse was like, what if we give you more money to expand on it? And they took it and they took it down and they remade it. And we're getting to see it here. I love that. I love the old school look of the horror game, PS1 inspired. It's a game that came out this year that I am hoping I get to play soon. Crow Country. So it reminds me of like that old school retro horror, old like PS1 era games.
Yeah.
This looks great. I'm very, very, very excited to play it. And it's like at the perfect time of the year. October, like a week before Halloween. Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh, it's gonna give you heebie-jeebies. Like, are you excited about this game?
I am. It kind of, the whole like Blumhouse horror game thing reminds me of when I was in high school, they had like an indie horror movie festival where like indie creators would make horror movies and then they release a box set and it was all these like indie horror films. And this kind of reminds me of that. There were some real gems in there. There were some stinkers too, but there were some real gems in there. And I'm really hopeful just for this whole Blumhouse thing in general. I think we're going to get some really solid games and that are going to be unique that I'm really excited for.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the ones that looks really good. So
yeah, the Blumhouse gives me like the vibe of when Annapurna started getting into games of like, yeah, we're gonna support these little smaller projects and we're gonna fund them with a whole bunch of cash and they're gonna make something interesting. Kyle, you kind of sold me on this. As someone who never played horror until Dead Space, this is gonna get me in the mood of like, okay, let me see what a PS1 inspired thing really looks and feels like. Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Very, very excited for that whole lineup. As am I. Alan Wake 2, Lake House expansion revealed. This is the trailer, outside of the last one, that I've watched the most since yesterday.
Alan Wake.
Just hearing the words, the Bureau, seeing the oldest house for a brief second. Man, oh man. I am so excited to play more Alan Wake 2. Even though the previous DLC, Night Springs, was
Yeah.
fun. I loved it. Um it wasn't as story focused as what I wanted from the DLC. This looks like it is. And like Jesse and Control, that whole universe is like one of my favorite things ever. So to get more of it and to lead into an eventual Control 2,
Mhm.
I'm very excited to see Control 2 on the PS6, 5, whatever it is. I can't wait. So how good Alan Wake 2 looked? My God, I cannot
Oh my
wait for
God.
Control.
I can't wait. This okay. Spoiler, I'm getting a PlayStation 5 Pro. Alan Wake 2, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Pro because this is or maybe I don't because it's spooky. It seems I mean it is a horror game, but like seems like it's really diving into that with that weird ass painting and the weird ass voice. Ooey. Like I know you haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet.
I haven't.
Are you thinking about dipping in?
I am because I did play Control and I loved Control. So I think this is going to be the gateway to get me in. And maybe I play it out of order. Maybe I do the DLC first and then I use that as like my little gateway drug to get into Alan Wake. I don't know. But I didn't play the first Alan Wake and the
Same.
second one looked enticing, but since I hadn't played the first, I wasn't like dying to play it. But it does look beautiful and like I said, I really enjoyed my time with Control. I do have to replay it though because it's been so long I couldn't tell you what happens anymore.
Yeah.
I just remember really struggling with the final fight.
That's the thing about entering your 30s, man. It's just and once you get 28, 29, 30, then it just things start fading. I played Control what? Oh my God, 5 years. It's been 5 years.
Mhm.
See? Like it's just
Mhm.
frightening. But I'm right there with you. I've never played Alan Wake 1, and I'm here to tell you Alan Wake 2 does a phenomenal job of giving you the details of all of it within the first chapter. So you don't feel like you're lost or you're starting from a midway point.
How long did it take you
Kinda.
guys to beat it?
I think about 12 hours.
So not
I
super
go,
long then.
it's not super long. I take my time. Like with those type of any horror game, I'm checking cabinets. I'm getting my hands
Yeah.
and knees. I'm like, gotta be a battery somewhere, man. 'cause
I think it
it's
took me a
too
little
spooky.
longer. I think closer to 20, just because I did get lost a little bit. The environments are a little hard to maneuver and figure out where you are.
Okay.
The way they do maps is like you're looking at like a brochure or like a real paper map, and it's kind of hard to see in the real world, quote unquote, where you are.
Okay.
But
Okay.
The youngster in the room, Cade, says took him about 18 to 20 hours.
it's around
Okay.
So I think maybe that's probably more accurate. And Jonathan
But I
Kelly
also
writes,
got the platinum, so I was doing a lot of
That's
creative
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Jonathan writes, wait till you reach your 40s. Oh no. Oh no, I'm gonna forget my name.
Listen, my hips already crack when I get up from a seated position.
Exactly. Oh no. All right, Kyle. Let's talk about the last bit right here before we
Sure.
get into the
We got
meat.
new PS5 controller colors, or as some of us call them, new hardware. Get out of here. Chroma Pearl, Chroma Indigo, and Chroma Teal colors. And
Yeah.
Joe gets a Fortnite controller.
Yes.
The ugliest controller I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
It's so ugly.
It's awful. If we did, because we did the controller ranking with you, right?
Yes. We'll have to do an
I
updated
would
one
put
for sure.
that one below the LeBron James one.
I would put it
Yes.
just a notch above.
No,
No.
Joe, you're insane.
Still getting it. Still
like-
getting it.
You said you have really bad ADHD. That's like your brain on a controller is what I picture that. It's
It made
just all
sense.
over the place.
It's a mess. I'm like, this makes sense to me. This speaks to me on a plane of which no controller ever has.
Oh, that pearl one though, they were
Oh.
all gorgeous. But my
Mhm.
silver is my favorite color, so that pearly one, ooh, I gotta get that. So pretty.
Adam Scott says, when your knee joints bend, snap, crackle, pop, Kellogg's Rice Krispie treats. Adam, let me tell you, I when I do this, like it looks like I'm trying to throw a punch. It's me cracking my elbow, and it's real gross. And I can do it almost on command.
I mean, I'm getting all three of these. Because I have to. I'm a sicko
Fair.
when it comes to controllers. I really like the teal. I like the way. I think again, it was one live react. I couldn't remember which one. It reminds me of like a shiny beetle, like the little
Mm.
green pearlescent kind of
Mhm.
thing. I
Yeah.
also, maybe my brain is wired wrong. I didn't think teal was so green. I always thought teal was more blue.
I think
Yeah.
it depends on the variation of teal. I think
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
a spectrum for
Okay.
sure.
I felt
Yeah.
But
real
I
dumb when
learned
they said that's teal. I was like, wait a second. I've been
I
living a
learned my
lie.
lesson with Astrobot. I didn't get that controller. I was trying to be
Yeah.
a mature adult. I didn't
fair.
need it. I have my Spider-Man one. I didn't need the Astrobot yet. Well, guess what? I regret it. So I screw mature. Who needs to be mature? Take my money. Give me
Yeah.
the pretty colors. I will not
Yes.
have FOMO again.
No.
And I'm like, the plates really do nothing for me, but that again, that teal, the whole console in the teal, it
Ooh.
looks really nice.
It looks really nice. It looks really nice. All right, last
Reese,
one.
more like, oh no.
There was also another one. Maybe you put it in Flash News, the PS Plus stuff.
Oh yeah, I put it in
Oh,
Flash
okay,
News.
never mind.
Yeah.
We got Dynasty Warriors Origins, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, January 17th. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any of our genre or game.
Hear me out.
Oh,
I'm gonna try to relive the magic. I'm gonna try to play this on my Portal.
Okay.
Dynasty Warriors was my jam on PSP.
Okay.
It's how I know these games. I'm playing on the
Uh-oh.
Portal.
Nisa in chat is trying to get you to spend money right now. Like,
Where? Last time I looked, it was like $100 on eBay.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. You don't need it.
If
Nisa,
you find the link, send it to me on Twitter if you have Twitter, please,
Oh,
because
no.
I instant buy.
well,
Nisa
Light
is the devil on your shoulder. Like shoulder. She'll be like, the Rogue Ally is on sale at Target. I'm like, no, Nisa, no.
Oh man.
All right, Kyle, let's talk about the last one here. The last goodie.
Ghost of Yotei, or if the angry mob on Twitter likes to call it, Woketai.
Oh, God.
They're real dumb.
I hate how catchy that is. It's gonna catch on.
Don't call it. It's Ghost of Yotei. It's amazing. I
Okay.
regret bringing it up.
Right.
Quote, without going into detail, the developer said Ghosts of Yotei was a story of underdog vengeance that followed Atsu as she moved through the natural landscape, including sprawling grasslands and snowy tundras. They said players would have greater control over her story than in the previous game. Ghosts of Yotei is the beginning of an official franchise that will include at least one movie and other spin-offs. The sequel to Ghost of Tsushima is the linchpin to a series of tightly choreographed efforts by Sony to transform the series into a larger entertainment franchise. A cinematic version of the original game has been in development for several years under Chad Stahelski, who directed the John Wick films.
Oh my good lord. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Like-
Erika Ishii is in the role, who's
Yes.
an amazing actress.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Like your initial reaction to this trailer.
I see you got your
So
Ghost
good.
merch on too.
So
You had to
good.
wrap it.
So good. I'm so excited. At first I was disappointed that Jin wasn't, the main focus. But then the more we talked about it, even just that 2-minute conversation we had, I was like, no. Who needs Jin? Because
Yes.
the implications for what they can do with this are so exciting to me that I'm just like, okay, no, I take it back. I take it back. And then thinking about it more, like his story, his mission, his goal was done. He did it. So yes, I would love to see where his life goes, but I don't need to, they don't need to create drama where there isn't drama, right?
Yep.
Let him have his, and I'm just so excited for him to be like one of those lore battles, one of those or finding the scrolls on him. I know I talked about this yesterday, but
Yeah.
my initial reaction to the trailer, just inject it into my veins because I need more. I need more.
Yeah.
Show me all the screenshots. Give me give me everything.
I was like, while trying to find thumbnails for this show, I was just getting lost of like, is there like a 4K version I could make my wallpaper? Like, I am already making this game my whole personality. I love Tsushima so much. It's one of my favorite games just ever made. Kyle Stevenson, your initial thoughts watching this
Oh my god.
this beautiful trailer.
Gorgeous. I implore people to go check out our live react because the moment we saw that first shot, we all just leaned forward and we're glued to the screen just because it's so good to have Sucker Punch back doing amazing things. And I also I don't think I was like upset that it wasn't Jin, but
Mhm.
I'm really into the idea that Jin is going to be like a tall tale, like
Mhm.
a heroic folklore legend in,
Mhm.
was it 400 years later, 2 to 400
Yeah.
years later, or something like that.
3-ish, 4.
Three
Yeah.
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That like sounds so cool to me, and I hope that Atsu gets her mask because she hears the story of Jin, and she makes her own version of it. Um, I would have been good if they just did the Sucker Punch logo and then it just faded off. But no, we got like in-game stuff too, and reading the blog afterwards, and it's going to be less like organized samurai clans, like
Yep.
in the world, and it feels like very open and do like experiencing things on your own terms, and it could be a little bit more dynamic and organic. I'm in, and I also feel like, and I wanted to pose this question to you both.
Yeah.
And apologies if I'm taking a Sony Pony Express question
No,
out of
go
the
for it.
way. I feel like this is Sony's new strategy of, we're not going to announce games years in advance. You'll know within 6 months. 6 months to a year. And I think we need to learn to be okay with that going forward.
Yes.
And not get the God of War announcement and then 2-3 years later we get the game. I think when they're ready to show it, and they know for a fact that there's a hard date or a timetable that they can actually hit, is when we'll hear from them. And as disappointing as that might be, I think this is super smart. Like I watched this, like, I talked a lot of shit about the Pro. I think I'm getting a Pro. I think I'm gonna get a Pro eventually because I want to play this in the best possible way.
Yeah. I think you're 100% right. I think this is their new, their games are the headliner. They are the showstopper. And, at this very point in time where the pipeline for PlayStation development is a bit, a wrench has been thrown in. I think this is definitely, hey, we have 1 to 2 games every year that you're going to stop and look at and you're going to buy. They are the events. And I think this definitely showed this game is, and just even their approach when thinking about narrative-based games, they're building a universe around this. Like they understand, I think, the groundswell of love that the first Ghost had, and they're like, we're gonna take this and run with it because this is the things we're good at. Sony is good, or PlayStation is good at making really good single player games, telling really good narratives, and we have this production team that also is really good at their job, and we're going to make universes around these IP. Is just so smart to have a movie with a director that knows what he's doing when it comes to action, that's always wanted to make a samurai film, and then go, and we're going to make other media like TV and what have you off of this IP. Just makes so much sense.
And so much more sustainable because, if you try to just focus on Jin and Jin's story, what else can you have? Like, he had his big pivotal moment with his family and the difficult decision he had to make. So if you try, it's like when they keep a TV series going on too long, and you're like, oh, you should have just ended it. Like, if you can break away from that character and just have different stories within this universe, like you said, it's so much more sustainable because it can go on forever, because you can always have a different story with a different character with a different time period. And someone can, Jonathan, I know you're a history buff, so maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this time period is like imperialism in Japan, and that's really cool. Like, they can do some really cool stuff with that, and I'm definitely excited for that. So
yeah,
I saw a lot of jokes afterwards of like, man, they really are sticking it to Rise of Ronin, because like, why buy that game when this is coming out?
It looks so drop dead gorgeous. I mean, Delicious Morsels writes in with a question similar to what we're talking about. Ghost of Yotei, am I right? What a surprise. How do you feel about the choice to go with a new protagonist rather than continuing Jin's tale? I know there's a certain unsavory segment of the internet that isn't a fan for all the wrong reasons, and to that I say, get bent, losers.
Get bent.
Get bent, losers.
Oh, can we make that a shirt?
Yeah.
I like
Oh
that
yeah.
a lot. Get,
Get
bent.
bent.
Get bent, losers.
That's right.
I like
Wash
that
your
morsels.
butts. You smell. Personally, I'm a big fan. Taking this approach, I think, will make each game in the series feel like their own individual snapshots of a specific time period in Japanese history, and I'm all about that. I'm excited to see how Atsu's story unfolds and how she differentiates herself from Jin gameplay-wise. Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, this is exactly to your point, Light. It's like Jin's story is over. He had his arc. He had his conclusion. And what you said both on stream and tonight, it's like it adds to the mythos. Like, I remember one of the spoiler chats that I saw. The game director was like, "He's the Ghost of Tsushima. We know that the Great Tsunami was the thing that killed the Mongol invasion of Japan, and to us, Jin embodies the tsunami." And I just love that phrase. It gives me chills when I
I
think
was
about
gonna say,
it.
I just got goosebumps. That's cool. Yeah.
It's like, that is awesome. And so it's like, yeah, Jin is now part of the myth and the mythos of Ghosts. And now we're having Atsu take the role of like an underdog.
Mhm.
What that means exactly, I'm very,
Mhm.
very interested, because it could be a very indie movie that came out this year called The Monkey Man, situation of like someone coming up from nothing just based off of just pure rage
Mm.
and revenge, and like that just gets me so excited. And that's why I love, personally, they did not continue Jin's tale. They're going with another time period because there's so much you can play with. What's
Mhm.
it, you, Kyle?
I am so excited for Atsu's story. I think it's a great call. Because like Light was talking about before, I don't want them to pigeonhole themselves to tell a Jin story if there's not a Jin story to tell.
Fair.
Mhm.
Because I think Ghost of Tsushima is standalone on its own. We didn't need a sequel of Jin's story at all. The story stands on its own. So the fact that we're getting a new Ghost game with a new protagonist, a new tale to tell, I love that. And I am so excited to see how different she will play as Jin. We got a
Yeah.
little glimpse at the end, like she's gonna have firearms. What is that like spiky ball weapon? Is that like a
It's a
ginku
mace
or
looking
something?
thing.
I think it's
Yeah.
called her. I'm very. And do we have a wolf companion? Like, is that our buddy?
Eat him, give him pets.
Yes.
That's all we want.
It looked like it. I don't
Oh,
know.
man.
Right?
I
Oh,
don't
I love it.
know.
Pet the pup. And the one thing that I want to note too is when she has that, it seems like that tapestry she's holding in the cover art, and it's also on her armor, it seems, and she's wiping blood off of one of the letters, and it makes me think that that is a list.
Mhm.
That is
Oh, that's
that
so.
is
There's chills. That's so
Gave
badass.
me Origins vibes where he has the tattoos of the people that he needs to get revenge on, and he crosses them out.
exactly. And that's just her crossing it out.
Mhm.
Ooh, if I didn't just sell you on $700 worth of PlayStation 5 Pro to go and play that game, I don't know what will. Fluke writes in, Fluke23 writes, just like you can too, by the way, you head on over to the Discord server link down below in the description. We ask for questions each and every week. You come, you deliver us some amazing questions, like Fluke here wrote, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and crickets of all generations. I hope you're all doing well. I've just managed to catch up with the state of play, and I was pleasantly surprised with it. But with one of their big releases now shown, what do you think they'll bring to the Tokyo Game Show later on? Also, anyone else liking the Chroma collection?" Ooh, we did. That was one of my highlights of the show. And we'll be hunting down the green color. That's right, teal team right over here. As always, much love. And now that there's a lady presence, goon to the goon in your room. Nay, I say, don't let the room confine your goon. We still need to reach for the stars and goon to the moon. Fluke, don't let anyone tell you where to goon. This goes for everybody. They're both dying laughing, and I'm vamping at this point. Don't control the goon. Don't. All right? It's in your heart. You know it, I know
Goon
it.
in your room.
Get in your room.
Your grandparents are coming over. Go to your room. Oh, that's good.
Take you and your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle boxers into your room and goon in there.
Oh, there were Power Rangers.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Power Rangers.
Man. To Fluke's question, though.
Yes.
I don't think they have to worry about it because Kojima is showing off Death
Yeah.
Stranding there, so I don't think they
90
have to bring
minutes.
anything.
Nothing.
Nope.
They got Kojima. They're gonna fluff that man's ego for 90 whole minutes, and I'll be there.
Sure.
Like what? I know. Fluffing and goon. I could have used better words. Like
The timing of that.
whoopsies. Did you try Death Stranding by any chance?
I tried it
All right, fair
and
enough.
couldn't get into it, but everybody and their mother has told me I need to try it again. So I'm gonna try it again at some point, because everybody loves it. Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
I kept falling over and I couldn't figure out how to walk. So
That is
I
fair.
get it.
and then people are shooting at me and I have boxes and I'm like falling over and it's
Yeah.
too much. It's too much.
No. I understand. It's a bizarre masterpiece that as time goes on, get more and more fond of. But I understand it's not for everyone. But yeah,
I think I just need to get used to the mechanics and
That's
get good, and then
That's
it'll be
fair.
fine.
The soundtrack, though, if you could just listen to the
Oh,
soundtrack.
I have. That's good.
oh my god,
We go to the Adirondacks every year, and we have a Crunch Adirondack playlist, and a
Yeah.
lot of the songs from the soundtrack are on that.
That's fair. That's fair. Stingray X writes, due to the reveal of Ghosts of Yotei, and a packed showing, do you feel like State of Plays are the new showcase? Take care, and as always, gents and lady, good day to you.
Probably.
Yeah. It's not exciting when we say it like that.
But if they're going the new plan of only showing games when they're close,
Mhm.
then they're not gonna have a showcase with a bunch of like first party stuff. So
Yeah.
I think State of
Alex
Play's
Smith
better
in the chat goes, phrasing? Sorry.
We have a phrasing email on my channel because I'm the queen of saying things without meaning them to be
Yeah.
inappropriate, and then they are inappropriate,
Oh.
and then we all have to laugh.
We need to bring that one over.
I have relived what I said during the live react yesterday.
Yeah.
I said something like, I think Stellar Blade was on, and I mentioned like, oh, fans are getting harder. Like it's harder to. I was like,
Oh!
nope, mm-mm,
Nope.
nope, wrong, didn't mean it.
Nope.
Nope.
Take that back.
I apologize. I'll go to my room, Mom.
I'll goon in there where it's safe. Yeah, no, I think they're the new showcase. Again, I think
Yeah.
by I'm sorry, like I think by like just having it where like it's just State of Play, there's no showcase. It means it doesn't put any special meaning towards any of these State of Plays, which means it's easier for you to market these to vendors, to partners, to whoever may be interested. Going, no, these could be alongside even our biggest tentpole releases, and I think that's how you get, and just a marketing standpoint and the business side of things, I think that's why they're probably doing it this way now. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Mhm.
Kyle, this is a question you're going to have to read. The Green
Really?
Gorilla Gamer has
Oh, boy.
required it.
Sup, boys and lady. First off, welcome to the show, Light. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, chatting about games and the like with the lads. But also, my sincerest thanks for stepping in to help out. As a friend of these two knuckleheads, I'm just grateful. Hey, listen here, Cade. Now, mushy bullshit aside, I expect Kyle to read this to help him reach his swearing quota for the show. Yeah, please tell Joe it's okay that we curse. We're grown adults here.
I mean,
I
as long as
cuss
it's
like a
not,
sailor tonight, so it's been really hard for me.
No,
I mean,
curse away.
as long as it's not the first 5 minutes in or the 5
We're an
minutes
hour
out.
and a half in.
All right, fair enough. Oh shit, are we really?
Yeah, we are. That state of
It's gonna be
play
a long show, I'm
was
sorry.
the shit. Like banger after slanger after banger. I'm not even gonna play them all, but the ones I wasn't fully interested in still looked cool. Alan Wake 2 DLC once again had me on lock, and Hell Is Us, not a fan of the name, lol, looks like it belongs to Remedy. Were there any omissions for you? Honestly, I was expecting Wolverine, not even Spidey 2 DLC or Silksong, but like, where is Wolverine? My other question in regard to games being shown off, the state of play felt good. It showed games that are coming within the next 6 months with a couple stragglers a little further out. Do you like this style? Rather than the PlayStation Showcase, they gave us a teaser for Spider-Man 2 2 years ahead of its release, and Wolverine apparently even longer. I quite enjoy knowing what I'm going to be playing in the next little while instead of years out. What are your 3 separate thoughts?
Ooh. Light, I bring this over to you. What are your thoughts?
Okay, you have to remind me of all the points because
I know sometimes I get lost in the sauce.
ADHD brain, I kind of forget sometimes. Okay, so I like the method of revealing something and having it come out within a year and a half because I know that makes the wait to hear something longer, but then when they finally announce it, the hype is that much bigger because I'm like, I only have to wait 12 however many months versus when they just do a teaser and they're like 2028 and you're like, why did you tell me? Because I'm gonna forget. Like that's not my cup of tea. So I prefer that. I really like the idea of just doing these smaller ones and you just never know what you're gonna get. It could be something big, it could be something small. That makes it more exciting to theorize about. And then I think what was missing for me, again, I forgot about Wolverine. Because we got a little teaser of him sitting at a bar, and then that was it. And what was that? Over a year ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
No sense of time, so who knows? But it's like we haven't gotten anything, and that's just why show? Because you don't need to. Like we've had a lot of stuff from PlayStation these past 2 years. I mean, not as much as some people would like, but we've had heavy hitting games. So they didn't. It's not like Xbox for a little while was going through a dry spell, and that's no shade on Xbox, but like sometimes they needed to just like announce something big coming out in 2 years because they're like, we have to say something. PlayStation didn't need to do that. So it's like, why? I don't know. Why tell us that early? So I am surprised Wolverine hasn't gotten anything. And Spider-Man DLC, I know that would have been another big thing. I said at the beginning that would, between that and Ghost, those would have been my dreams, and I didn't think we'd get either. So
oh my god, called Ghost.
I'm gonna call it right now.
Often.
I think we get Spidey 2 DLC at the Game Awards.
Oh,
because last year we got God of War Valhalla. The year before we got Burning Shores.
Yeah,
it just kind of makes sense, maybe.
I say we get. I say we get Spider-Man 2 on PC announced at Game Awards.
Why not?
Is it already?
Yeah, no, it's not already. No, yeah. So again, we got. I think that makes sense. But yeah, you know what? Why not both? Hot dang,
I'm not gonna lie. If Spider-Man splashes on the screen and it's just like coming to PC, I will throw something.
That's fair.
He's so mad. Don't do that. Just announce that. Just announce that on social media. Give me give me a screenshot.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man deserves that or demands that big of a audience. So like a general audience. Yeah, I think this is the way that they're going to take it for the foreseeable future, which, for those of us that remember the Spike TV days of like voted for what conference was the best, those days are long past. And the way that AAA gaming is looking right now, where it's kind of slim pickings across the board. It's kind of like they need these general state of plays, Xbox Directs, Nintendo Directs, whatever have you, developer spotlights to help carry a lot of the weight here. So I do think the way the industry's changed, you're not going to have, I think the Xbox show will be the biggest show because they are now the biggest publisher and they own so much. So you're going to see a ton out of there. But other than that, I don't think you're going to get a ton from anyone else for the foreseeable future.
It was also really cool to see Xbox tweet out after the state of play, hey, a lot of these games are coming to Xbox. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Me.
Cool. Let the chuds argue in the Twitter spaces.
Yeah.
And actually, this goes that one question speaks to Kildane's question. They write, if you were in charge of reveals for Sony, or actually, no, I'm sorry, this is Maximum Carnage. Kildane, I'll get to you in a sec. I'm sorry. Sit down. Maximum Carnage writes, "What's up, dudes and dudette? I was at the border control last night during the state of play,
What?
so I'm yet to catch. Yeah, he was trying to catch a wild and mischievous Luke Lore.
Oh.
Don't know why. Don't know why he's been crossing the borders lately, but
Hmm.
he's up to no good. FBI, if you're listening, Luke Lore Xbox expansion pass criminal. Anyway, with the goods that were shown at the time of this write-in. However, I want to know if it's time for PlayStation social medias to turn off comments completely. I know we say that social media isn't real life and we should just ignore it. The insane takes that oxygen thieves
Ooh, I love
have. I love that. Ooh, yes. But after seeing people question why the new Astrobot game isn't free on one of the PlayStation's latest Instagram posts, I'm left wondering the value of comment sections. Truly have when takes are so out of touch and not representative of the general consensus. Don't get me wrong, I'm a believer of voicing opinions and free speech, but it seems to me that some are poisoning the well for all, and in a post-Concord world, I can't help but feel like we let comment sections help steer the North Star to its fate, and to me, it seems pretty fucking disastrous. A big one, but curious to hear your thoughts. So, I could take this one pretty far here. Why don't they disable comments? Because they count as engagement. And if you're a social media community manager, you hate the comment section because half the time they're telling you to go kill yourself. But it's a metric that you get to show the big boss up there that what you did mattered. Going, oh, look, there's so many people talking about this. And yes, you do get to gauge the temperature in the room per se, though it's not, complete math. Um, it is still something that you could go, okay, the temperature in the room says, yeah, a lot of it's killing myself, but another portion is like they may not be hot on the price of the PS5 Pro or whatever have you. But it's really to just it's to really barter with your own existence when you're in, PR and socials. But my question to you guys, I think here for Maximum Carnages is like, should they just turn them off? Like, should they just turn off the comments? Because a lot of it's like first Xbox best, and
It's
then
it's an interesting question because it doesn't matter. Like I made the mistake of on Instagram, I went onto Ubisoft's
Yeah.
replies after a Shadows post. It was just ridiculous. And the reality is that's not the majority of people. That's the very, very vocal, very toxic minority on social media.
Yeah.
If you go, like my husband was at the barber the other day and he was talking about well, I guess it was a couple weeks ago now. He was talking about Star Wars Outlaws. And his barber was like, "Oh, I'm so excited for that game. It looks so fun. Like, what do you think? Is it good? Is whatever?" And he had no idea the conversation that's happening online
Yep.
because he's not that invested in the gaming space. He likes to game and that's it. So I think those are the majority of the people. So I can see the argument for turning off comments there. But if that were to happen, the gaming industry as a whole just needs to do it uniformly.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, the way social media works too is one, let's just say PlayStation turns off comments, then the other side is like, "Oh, we won, we got them, boys, because they turned off their comments. They're afraid of us." And it's like, no, you just suck, and I don't want to talk to you. Like
Your children and your babies. Yeah.
right. But then on the other side of it, on the YouTube side, you get a lot of negative too. You get a lot of like the down thumbs down or whatever. They can't distinguish whether it's hate or it's not. You thumbs down something, you leave a nasty hate comment, YouTube just says, "Ooh," like you said, engagement. And that's how it is with social media too. So if you are the social media person and you can put blinders on that and not worry about that, the reality is the more that those oxygen thieves tweet and reply, the more other people see it. And it's just, I don't know. I can see arguments for both sides for sure. So long answer, I have no idea. I don't get paid big enough bucks to figure that out.
Same. Oh, Kyle, the mic's Jiminy may have left, but you're getting the feedback from your mic again. He's yelling, he's hooting, he's hollering. He's blowing in the connector like a good old-fashioned N64 cable. Nope. Ooh, it's even worse. It's the moisture from your hot lips, Kyle. Yeah. Oh, he said nope. He said he did not like that. He wagged
You
his
didn't use
finger.
the N word. That's okay.
That's right. That's true. And then now
Am I
he's
good?
here. Even worse. What's going on here? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. I don't know. Plug it back in. Plug it out again. He did that already. He's signing a whole bunch. Just try finding a cloth. You go try. Oh, he's looking at me. He's like, a cloth.
Get your
What do you
Power Ranger
mean?
boxers.
Get Power Ranger boxers. Something dry. A cotton swab, perhaps. Okay. He's like, wait. I'm thinking of something. He's picking up something. Don't know what that is. What is this? Is that the boxers? I don't know. He's
I
going.
pictured
He's
those bright
sighing.
red for some reason in my head. Those boxers are
Right?
definitely bright red in my head.
Yeah, they've seen time. Okay, he's doing something. Jamming it back in.
Am I good?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
First of all, there were faces of all the Power Rangers on them.
What
There
was
were
the
just-
base color?
It was
Alright.
just portraits. It was just like they were jam packed next to each other.
Oh, see, I pictured red with the bodies of Power Rangers on there.
Oh, I mean that's fair.
Yeah.
God, I
It's
hate
morphin'
not
time.
being able to answer to
Exactly,
you
nerd
during all
chat.
that. What were we saying? I think
Turn off comments.
yeah.
turn off
I
comments?
think one of my answers to the question, like if you had a time machine, what would you do? Is to go back and ix all comment sections, just in general, amongst other very important historical things I would like to not happen.
That would be number one.
Yes. It's just like no comment section.
No comment
In
section.
the overall sense, we've all had, comment sections that have been very uplifting or replies that have been super loving and super supportive. But man, it's the wild, wild west out there. And like IGN comments are like truly the worst of the worst.
Bad.
And just seeing like they who will not be named, the group of the quartering and the other douchebag
gotcha.
dude.
The nickeling. Right.
It's just like that's what they live off of, and in my mind, I just feel like how could you even talk like that? Like, do you realize these are all public facing? We can see like the thought. Oh, Jiminy's back.
Hey, okay, listen. A worthy trade, if you ask me.
The idea that you can hide behind the screen and say whatever you want and not think of any consequences, and spew the most vile things I've ever read is wild to me.
Yeah,
that there are still people like that out there. It's awful.
Yeah. I mean, if I had the power, I would go back in time, save JFK, Kyle. I'd save
Comment section.
Okay, fair enough. Damn. Who was in the grassy knoll? Maybe it was
Jiminy.
I don't know.
That's where he was.
Smoking a cigarette, little Jiminy cricket hat on, little mini sniper. It's actually kind of cute. Yeah, no, I mean, it really just comes down to social media has gotten out of control because the algorithms are spinning into a vicious cycle of just if it bleeds, it leads, to so much so that like people are starting to just leave it entirely because it's just overly toxic and the algorithms don't speak to actual reality. And I think when you take the broader picture of what's happening to games, it's like there are actually right now too many voices in the medium right now, and too many of them are using cheap, easy engagement bait to talk about video games when things are a little bit more in depth and don't have to be so nasty. But again, it goes back to if it bleeds, it leads, and then certain companies empowering those creators, and I shan't not name them because I will be attacked. I don't want to be told to go kill myself again. Enabling those creators to garner bigger audiences, and that doesn't help your brand at the end of the day. And brands like that end up suffering when they have these folks in their inner circles, because then they start buying the BS. So it really is, you got to watch who you're listening to, watching, and it is the Wild West out there. There's no silver bullet, unfortunately.
I wish I had saved the tweet. I don't know who said it, but I saw it today, and I refuse to call it X or X's or whatever it is. So it's Twitter and tweets. Okay. Someone said that with all of the industry layoffs and all of the turmoil in the industry right now, the people who have the experience and the knowledge and the credentials to actually be talking on these things are no longer there.
Yep.
In the amount that they were. So now there's a void or a pocket to be filled. And the people that are filling it are the people who are not qualified, who just have a lot of nothing to say and a lot of negative things that will get them engagement to say. And they're almost filling in that pocket or that void. So before you had a bunch of industry professionals who were doing all of like the podcasting and the shows and the this and that. And now anybody can just pick up a microphone, which is great because, you know, that's how I got here. But anybody can just pick up a microphone and fill in this void. And unfortunately, the bad actors a lot of times are floating to the top.
Yep. Just because they know how to work the SEO algorithm. And it's super, it's flashy, you know, it's
so annoying.
It's really so annoying.
Please, if you're listening out there, not just us here at the Trophy Room, go support the people that are doing good work.
Seriously.
They need it more than ever with the media layoffs, which are awful. Just anybody, like content creators who are hanging up shop because they feel like they're not doing enough, even though they are. This is a very hard thing to do when you're first starting out. And just finding your voice and everything. It's hard enough to have people shit on what you're doing. So
it's kind of like
support the folks that you love and respect and enjoy their content.
And to speak on that and to speak on to what Light was saying, because I think it's perfect. It's like we were having this debate about remasters and remakes in our DMs. It was getting a little spicy. And we were talking about like the something that was out of our element. And about like, oh, can't we just put accessibility features in games that already exist? And I was using an example of like, yeah, I think it's a lot harder than just saying, let's put, you know, color blindness reader in the original Last of Us, and it's done like that. I'm like, I think we got to take a more, you know, when assumptions are at play, a much more conservative take going, maybe it's not that easy because maybe they would have done that already. Right. You know, we talk about like CD Projekt Red is
do it right. They don't want to half-ass it.
But more than that, like CD Projekt Red is switching to Unreal 4 because the people that are working on the CD engine or used to work on the engine, the chief architects, are no longer with the company. So they really can't do anything with that engine any longer or push it to its limits because it's already there. So it's like there's sometimes where, you know, I make the argument of like sometimes we're talking out of our element and it's okay to say, hey, listen, we're talking out of our element, but this is how we feel. But some people just want to state it as a fact because they're, you know, their daddy works at Microsoft, where it's like the industry just doesn't work that way. That said, I want to get one quick question in here because I know we're running a little bit late. We just wrapped up the state of play. And I really do want to tackle the Concord stuff. So Kildean writes, I have a question for you all this week. If you were in charge of game reveals for Sony, how would you showcase /state of play /blog post look like? Longer, shorter, more details, just a tease? I know personally I would love the details of the game instead of just a rando gameplay and I have to read a blog post to find out the type of game it is. So, Light, you are in charge of putting out your dream game, your dream way. How are we doing it?
I think exactly like how they just did this. I know a lot of people don't want to have to go to multiple sources to find out more about the game, and I can totally appreciate that. But for me, the unfortunate reality is when you get like the bigger showcases, when you have these long, in-depth demos, if I'm not into the game, you've lost me. Like like for example, I think it was an Xbox One, I don't know, last year, 2 years ago, they had like a 30-minute COD segment. I don't play COD. I didn't care about that. And yes, that was extensive. That was bigger than we're talking here. But so I started doing dishes. Next thing you know, I missed the whole rest of the showcase. So, you know, like social media has ruined my brain, I'm sure. Also, being a mom to a toddler has ruined my brain, I'm sure. But I like the shorter, show me your trailer for the game, maybe have a little bit of a dev talk, but I don't want anything too long because if I'm not interested in that game, then now I am zoning out or I'm doing something else. So you almost need it in my take to be more concise. That way, when, you know, in this last State of Player showcase, what are the names? The one we just watched yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, the middle were games that were not for me. but they were shorter trailers that moved like really quickly. So I was like, this game isn't for me. And then it was the next one. I was like, this game isn't for me. And then it was the next one. And that was okay. But if we had a deep dive of a game that I was like, this isn't for me, this is going on 10, 15 minutes now, you're going to lose me. You're going to lose my interest. So I like having the smaller ones where you can then go find out more. I would also maybe like it if they did kind of what I think Xbox does this, where they'll do like the little, here's the trailer, here's this, and then they do a different show. That's the deep dives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, yeah, like if it is, they did it with Starfield, and I think they did it with Call of Duty this year, where they're like, hey, we get it. This is a big game, and we get it. This is Call of Duty. Some of us may click out of it. So here's this 30 minutes dedicated of like, you can run and dive in any which direction in Call of Duty.
Nintendo does it as well. Like they'll have their treehouse after the directs, and they'll go a bit more deep dive.
I love the treehouse. That's how I would do it. Treehouse it. Like here's the thing, and a little at the lower third, it's like, hey, see more after the show. And if you're into that, you get to have that 10-minute segment. I love that. Give me that. Yeah.
Sounds a whole lot like what we do at 6-1 Indie.
Hey,
I'm really proud of how we do our showcases over there, and this was, I think, pretty close to what I would do if I was PlayStation. Very quick, don't have all the devs out there talking about it, have them briefly come out. I love seeing new faces like Kristen pop up in this one, in addition to Sean, and Nicholas, who's the head of Team Asobi. I like those being spread out. I don't know if I would... Selfishly, I always want to see more new games, so I would like it to be a little bit longer, like closer to the 45-minute hour mark. Sure. But that's just a selfish thing. I could watch... They're like my favorite content ever, are like these video game showcases. So, but I know that's not for everybody. But yeah, I really do like this new version of the State of Play that they've been doing. I really like it.
Yeah. So overall, guys, this showcase, man, there's a lot of games, like a ton of games. I didn't think we'd spend an hour 30 minutes on all these games, but alas, we did the thing. At the end of it, I know our highlight is Ghost, but I want to know another game that's not Ghost of Yotei, that was your day one, I'm buying it, and then what is your score that you would give it from 1 to this was the worst to 10, this is the best thing ever? Tegan, I go to you.
I stand my 8 that I gave yesterday. I think that's still, when we're talking through all these games, there are a lot of games that are not me games. But like I said yesterday, I can appreciate the fact that there are a lot of diverse games here, and I felt like they hit a lot of audiences. So even though it might not have been for me, there are still a lot of good things here. My day one would probably surprisingly be the DLC for Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm really intrigued. That was a great way to entice me to get into that. Like, and they nailed it. It because at first I was like, "Oh my god, is this a Control sequel?" And then they're like DLC, and I was like, "Oh shoot, okay, I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm always okay. Good. Kyle, what say you, sir?
I'm actually going to change my score from yesterday because I have watched it multiple times. I'm gonna go down a little bit. I'm now with Light at an 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right.
On the fact that there were a couple trailers that went on too long, Monster Hunter Wilds, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, where like I'm not into that, and I feel like that was a very, out of the 30 minutes to have like a 3 to 4 minute chunk on that, for me personally, wasn't the best. But I think it started super strong. There were highlights throughout. I think just to differentiate it a bit, I'm really into the Midnight Walk. I love the claymation, the look of it all. I'm really intrigued as to how that game plays.
Okay.
Like, is it a platformer? Are we fighting? Is it more narrative based? But yeah, I think that one is a highlight for sure.
Fair. Gosh, if it couldn't be, it's Ghost of Yotei, right? I think my score.
Ghost. That's why
I know.
I
want to cheat.
You're breaking the rules.
Go to your room. No Goody.
All right.
Get your boxers.
Yes, miss. No, I think. Yes, Mom. Sorry. I really listen. I played Power World today. I liked it. Okay,
Uh-huh.
humble brag. But
Yo, Kyle, you were supposed to read a tweet. Did you ever read the tweet?
It's later. I got it.
I'll
Okay,
say,
okay,
Thank
okay,
thank you.
okay. Sorry.
I appreciate
I would
it,
have
though.
to say, out of all the games, it's a bit of a toss-up. I really am interested in Legacy of Kain, though. I think that's the one that speaks to me. I think the December 10th, it's going to be at a perfect time. And again, that's just a game with so much prestige tied to it that, yeah, I can't help but be interested in. So, yeah, it's going to be that for sure. That's it, Kyle. That is it. We squared up the state of play. Oh my goodness. And we have only one bit of news left tonight, my friend. It's time to square up the news.
Are we not doing
Okay.
the AC news?
That's in Flash News.
Okay, gotcha. Sony's Concord reportedly cost $400 million to develop. This comes from Jordan Midler over at the VGC. That's according to Colin Moriarty of Sacred Symbols, which claims that the game, which was recently taken offline by PlayStation after just 2 weeks on sale, was referred to as, quote, the future of PlayStation, end quote, internally. Sony offered refunds to all players who purchased the game. The report also claims that a culture of, quote unquote, toxic positivity shut down any potential pushback to the game's direction internally. The game's director reportedly stood down last week, according to Kotaku. Citing 3 sources familiar with the move, the publication says Ellis was emotional when initially speaking to staff after the game's launch, when it was clear that it was going to be a major failure. Quote, Ryan deeply believed in that project and bringing players together through the joy in it, one former developer told Kotaku. Regardless of there being things that could have been done differently throughout development, he's a good human and full of heart, end quote. And in an update from Zarmina Khan, it's possible that wires were crossed somewhere and the figure Moriarty was given isn't the actual cost of developing Concord. For starters, $400 million means the game costs more than the likes of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Spider-Man 2, which is preposterous. Secondly, we've only seen recent evidence of one game, Star Citizen, costing more than a few $100 million to make. Concord being up there sounds pretty ridiculous. As pointed out by Games Industry's Chris String, Concord, a $40 game, didn't even have a significant marketing budget. And as pointed out by former Sony employee Del Walker, Firewalk was established only 6 years ago with quote-unquote less than a dozen developers. The misleading claim that Concord was in development for 8 years was debunked shortly after it originated because it turned out that the game was just an idea 8 years ago. Then there are claims that Concord's development was heavily outsourced, which is what contributed to its cost of development. This has also been shot down because high-profile games, including Sony's own, have more than twice the amount of outsourcing credits than Concord, and none of them cost $400 million. Finally, Kotaku's Ethan Gotch, who corroborated parts of Moriarty's report, says that he heard a different number for Concord's budget than Moriarty. For some reason, the gaming community is engaged in a war of words over this report. One side is pointing out the absurdity of the $400 million budget claim, while the other thinks all journalists and devs disputing Moriarty's report have some sort of an quote-unquote agenda.
Man, this sucks because to me, I really wanted to get this story out because I know it's a week late and we won't spend all night on this. But it's the quote here, man, that talks about Ryan was deeply believed in that project and bringing players together through the joy in it. And one former developer that told Kotaku said, regardless of there being things that could have been done differently throughout the development, he's a good human full of heart. Like, guys, instead of like arguing about which number is bigger and
Or
whatever,
applauding
understand
it being pulled or any of that.
yeah, this is someone's idea, and man, have we? None of us are perfect. We've all failed, right? Like we've all. It sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world, and to see him like have the stories of like him barely being able to speak in front of the team as the game's failing it hurts because he is probably one of the only ones that put 8 years into this game. You put no matter what almost half a decade of yourself into something, and the audience didn't resonate with it, and you're seeing all these awful takes by awful people trying to make a buck off of your misery. It just sucks It just sucks that it comes down to how many likes can I get on this Twitter post to shit on this one guy. I'm just tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, there's criticisms to be had over Concord's budget
Sure.
and the scope and what we talked about a few weeks ago, spoon people putting women type of design where it's just the game just didn't look great, right? We can be and be critical and offer those critiques, but we can also be mindful that there are people behind the keyboards, behind the monitors. We just talked about it last question of like, should we turn off comments? Yeah, man. Hey, like this is when. This is because I hate people seeing we do this like sports analysis of video game coverage that's really easy to do of like Xbox versus PlayStation, like garbage, and it feeds into these stories being made. And like, did Concord cost 400 million? No, but is it an incredibly enticing title that will be very hard to refute because there's so much NDA under it all? Yes. And that's why people like get away with saying things that aren't based in reality, and people in the industry are saying, yeah, no, that's not real. And like I could tell you people close to that source who know that that's not true. So we can knock it off. We could really knock it off. This was, again, it turns into he said, she said. We don't have all the info, and then we have an argument of like, how could they have spent 400 million? We don't know how much they spent.
Yeah.
We just it's just the game didn't work.
Also,
the game failed, and
I'm on the side of I don't need to know how much they spent.
Right. And I don't care.
There were real people who sacrificed a ton of time of their life to make something for us to enjoy. Games are incredibly hard to make. I see it every single day in my line of work. It's incredibly stressful because they know just the weight on their shoulders to make something good and that people will want to play is already hard enough. To have this piling on after something that didn't work out, which is unfortunate, I hate it so much. And to add to that, like, I'm sorry, am I the only one that would love to be in a toxic positive environment?
Well, so like
I'm the demographic there, Joe. I am always positive.
So
they
when
are
it comes
attacking
to
me with that.
No. So when they talk about toxic positivity, it's not like everyone is. It's like, don't say anything bad about this team, because the story is like, and we've covered this too. It's like PlayStation has no idea what they're doing in live service. These are ex-Bungie people. The game plays tight, and so they're like, I don't know what this. It seems like a success on paper, so let's go with this. And so it does speak. Listen, Concord getting as far as it did does speak to Sony's inability to find good multiplayer stuff, sure. But I just beg folks to be a little bit more mindful of like, there are people updating their resumes. There are people already leaving to find new work. That this developer is in the most expensive place to live in the United States of America. Okay, one of, if not. So if you're out of a job here, the amount of debt is terrifying to even think of, right? So it's like, just be mindful of the individual. I don't know. Like, is there anything you want to speak on to this? Because I feel like everybody's getting lost in the number and they're not thinking of the people.
Well, that's really all I would add. Is there, like you said, there is valid criticism to be had on certain choices that were made, but there's criticism for the sake of wanting to progress the medium, and there's criticism for the sake of just being an ass. And I feel like a lot of people with this game in particular are criticizing just to be an ass. They're conflating numbers, they're whatever they're doing, they're making it, blowing everything way out of proportion, and people are being rude just to be rude because they can get the one little jab in, like the haha I told you so, or haha this is better, or haha you should have done this. And hindsight is 2020. They're probably saying, you're right, we should have done this differently, but we've been working on this for 6-8 years, however many, and now we know, but we didn't know that then. And we were passionate about it, and we wanted it to succeed, and we worked our hardest, and we did our best. And you don't need to bring people down just to try to make yourself feel bigger. And that's what we're seeing a lot with this game.
And I'm
And
pretty sure there's already an
Hold on.
episode of Black Mirror that does this. I would love the episode where it's other people going to people's homes and yell at them for messing up normal things.
yeah,
And like shoving all of that into their face and see how they like it, because
Well, that's the thing. These keyboard warriors,
Yep.
right? Like you are anonymous. You have your little anime
Mhm.
profile picture. You don't have your name out there. Nobody knows who you are. It takes guts to put yourself on a screen.
Yep.
It takes guts to put your name on a thing
Yep.
with the option for that thing to fail.
Mhm.
And we know this because we do this all the time. Game developers know this because they do it all the time. But every time you publish a video, every time you go live, it's terrifying because you don't know how people are going to respond and what little thing people are going to take and just
Yep.
run away with.
Mhm.
I've
And
got an
it's
idea at this point. Some people go, I'll give you the gist, all right? Some people go, wow, really thoughtful critique, Joe. Hey, Joe, you made some good points. And then the vast majority, kill yourself. I was like, ah, man, shucks. I was just talking about Labo. Biscuits,
Yeah.
Again, you're right. The keyboard warriors, the folks behind the anime, and listen, like with Moriarty's reporting, a lot of people have come out to go, hey, this is not correct. And it's up to it's and as much as I disagree with, what's being said or whatever have you, it's good that people are looking into this and journalists are butting heads and actually coming together with multiple sources. Like Jonathan Kelly writes, while working on my history degree, you never really know what happened a long time ago. You just try to get as many accounts of an event as you can to hope to recreate the event as
Accurately.
accurate as you can. It's like, yes. And so to me, that's why it's like it's really hard to go, oh, one source said this, a source said that. It's like gaming journalism's really hard because it's under so much NDA.
Mhm.
There's just so much red tape around things that like sometimes all you got is a source that tells you one thing and another source that tells you something slightly different. And it's, it is definitely a coin flip of like, who do I take? But it also goes back down to if it bleeds, it leads. So again, as much as like I disagree with Colin here, and I there's ways of getting to that 400 million number, but I don't think it's through the development cycle. It was an expensive game, and it was a mistake, and it should not have come out in the state that it is. It wasn't, and it is. But at the end of the day, I can't help but feel for the people that work there.
Mhm.
She may not have a job, and that really sucks. It's I don't know.
And the
It's
fact
a
that
damn shame.
that's the scary thing with the world we live in right now with game development. The fact that one failure could potentially lead an entire studio to be
Mhm.
reallocated or closed down is just that's terrifying, and it's unfortunate, and it's not fair because you need to be able to fail to learn and to grow and to figure out what works and what doesn't. And this was a very expensive failure, to be sure. And obviously there's a lot of things to grow and learn from, but you're supposed to be able to make mistakes and
Yep.
then learn from them. And when you are in game development, especially right now, I can't speak to how it was before because I'm really only, paying attention to it now. But
Yeah.
these past COVID years or post-COVID years, it's like, okay, you make one mistake, you're done.
Mhm.
And that's unfortunate because then it doesn't encourage anybody to take risks. And we keep seeing people who are unhappy with remakes and remasters and the same thing done over and over again. Why wouldn't they? Because they take these risks and they fail and their whole studio gets shuttered.
It's
In the dramatic cases, but still.
yeah, it's a vicious cycle. Okay, we do actually have one more bit of news. It looks like, listen, this could be a big. You got time, Light? You got time?
I'm good.
Okay, good. All right, good. I don't want to keep you here all night, but you know what, guys? Listen, it's a special episode. There's 3 hosts now. I'm figuring it out as we go. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I'm not good. I need to go to bed.
That's fine. Spoiler alert, I have work to do after this.
Oh no, Kyle, take it away, sir.
Where's this from, Joe?
This is from the VGC. My
Thank you.
apologies.
From the VGC, Ubisoft delays Assassin's Creed Shadows, drops traditional season pass model. Previously scheduled to be released on November 15th, the game will now be released on February 14th, 2025. Seriously, everybody, there are more months than February. The company is also departing from its traditional season pass model. The move comes after Star Wars Outlaws failed to meet expectations following its release last month, Ubisoft said. Listening to players' feedback, and as an illustration of our player-centric approach, the following important decisions relative to Assassin's Creed Shadows have been taken. Assassin's Creed Shadows will now be released on February 14th, 2025. While the game is feature complete, the learnings from the Star Wars Outlaws release led us to provide additional time to further polish the title. This will enable the biggest entry in the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably by fulfilling the promise of our dual protagonist adventure, with Neo and Yasuke bringing two very different gameplay styles. We are departing from the traditional season pass model. All players will be able to enjoy the game at the same time on February 14th, and those who pre-order the game will be granted the first expansion for free. The game will mark the return of our new releases on Steam on day one. In a conference call following today's announcement, Ubisoft attempted to play down concerns that Sony's newly revealed Ghost of Yotei, an outwardly similar historical action-adventure game also set in Japan, could eat into Assassin's Creed Shadows sales. Now both titles are being released in 2025. Quote, I would like to say that there's a lot of space for very high-quality games, and those two games can sell very well, said CEO Yves Guillemot.
Who is probably not going to be the CEO for much longer. Sheesh. This is actually so like this reporting over. I'm sorry, it was Inside Gaming. This is the reporting that's really important because sometimes you can't say things, but you need another outlet to say those things. So like there could be people that have known that this was happening, but there is like I don't want to have coverage being taken from me, and then I would argue that Insider Gaming does have the right to go, okay, so this is the things that we've been hearing from multiple accounts to go, this game's probably delayed. This game's probably getting pushed out.
Yeah, the reason I was going, it's because I think this morning I saw reports that they pulled out of all press previews at TGS, like literally the day before. It's like, oh, that is strange. So it must have been a very like quick decision.
Very sudden.
It. Very sudden.
Yeah, I think it was I saw Jeff Grubb kind of like flippantly made a comment like, oh, pulling out of all press previews and creator things and like stuff like that. So they pulled out of the TGS stuff. Sounds like they might have had like the press side they were pulled out of. So it's just it's interesting like how fast of a turnaround that was, like you said, and what happened to make it all of a sudden be like, oh wait, no, we can't do this. Like how did you not know until like did you think you could fix it, or just I don't know,
or did they really see Ghost of Yotei? I'm like, you know what, we need more
time.
time.
Well, that's the other thing that I was I was talking about. Like if they got wind that Yotei was going to be announced, they're like, ooh, maybe we don't. Maybe we wait. Let's let it cook a little bit longer, give a little breathing room. But now that's the same date as Avowed, I think, right?
I mean, there's so every day in February seems like
February 14th is the Avowed release date.
I do like the other part of this stuff. It's like, we're getting rid of that silly pre-order you get a few days early.
Yes.
I like that the first expansion will be free if you pre-order. I like that it's coming to day one Steam again. Like
that's a big one.
Those changes are good.
Yeah. Good for sure.
And I'm happy they're listening. But it's still very strange how quick they're like, we're gonna push it back 3 months.
Those Star Wars sales must have been very soft. And I think they've. This is what happens, right? You test the market enough, and the market goes, "I know you, Ubisoft. You're going to put this game on sale in a month. It's going to be buggy, and within that month, you're going to patch it. And so I'm just going to wait." And so they told their audience that they could wait, and that's exactly what they did. And Outlaws released, and it was buggy. I played it as much as I wanted to love it. I just ended up really liking it. Right? It's almost great. It's almost. But at the end of the day, I think the reactions out of Star Wars Outlaws and the lack of strong sales from it, I think had them in a panic, and they very much were maybe seeing something similar for Assassin's Creed Shadows and went, this game needs to be different, and so we're going
Sorry
to
about that.
probably give. No worries. I don't even know what happened. They're going to probably give them extra time to make sure it's polished when it releases. So awesome that they're doing this too. One of the things that definitely hurt Outlaws, not on Steam. I don't know. I'm not a PC guy, but apparently Ubisoft is strictly on their store for a long while, and then it gets to Steam. One of my buddies was just like, I wanted to play this game. It's not on Steam, so I'm not going to buy it. I think this is a very smart maneuver from them. So best of luck to you, Ubi, out there.
My hope is the game is done. It's ready. There's no issues that led to this delay. But they heard about Ghosts being announced, and they see all of the negative comments about the woke and whatever terms are getting thrown out
The
there.
oxygen thieves.
The oxygen thieves.
And
And
they're out
they
there
are
stealing
going
as much as they can.
they are going to release a perfect game and just say, get bent.
Yeah.
And to all of you, get bent. This is the perfect game. You've
That's
got no legs to stand on other than your oxygen riddled,
Well, trust me,
lacking brain.
it coming out on February. Now they have a whole new conspiracy theory, which is, if you thought couldn't be even worse, it's even worse. All right, y'all. Listen, it's time. We gotta do this fast. It's gonna be the flashiest news you've ever seen. Gotta run. Gotta go fast. There's so much to do. So little time, and I gotta wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. All right, it's time for a PlayStation Plus update. Are you ready for this, Kyle?
I'm ready.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Because I forgot about one of the things I put in here. But don't worry,
I
wing
got it
it.
all in my head. I got it. You want me to say
Oh,
it?
good. Yeah, go for it.
Next month, PS Plus lineup for the extra members is WWE 2K24, Dead Space, the PS5 version, and Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, I think it's called. The PS Classic Collection will be Blood Omen Legacy of Kain and Dino Crisis. And Last of Us Part 1 comes to the PS Plus catalog as you're listening to this on Thursday, because it's Last of Us Day tomorrow.
How did you do all that?
I
That was
watched
really
the show
impressive.
5 or 6 times. It's right here.
All right. He's all about state of play and breathing. That's all he knows.
That's all
now.
I can do. They said
Yes,
Dino
all that.
Crisis. Yay!
What a great month.
We
what
knew-
a great
We knew
month.
that was part of like the PS Plus plans like 2 years ago, and the fact that we finally have it is cool.
It's time for me to finally play Doki Doki, because
Oh, boy.
everybody in my community tells me, be prepared, but play it. So
I got
Is it-
I got to
My
the
turn.
end of like the first hour or
serious?
so, and I got
Okay.
so sad. I
Okay.
was like, I can't do it.
there's like lots of trigger warnings, right? Like you gotta
Lots
be in
of
a good
trigger
headspace. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I looked up Doki Doki Literature Club, right? Is that what it's called?
Do not go off by what it looks like, Joe.
I am
It's a
very
visual
alarmed.
novel. It is.
Okay.
But
yeah,
it's
I
like-
can see it's very visual, Kyle.
It's not because of that.
We had a whole 5-minute goof on gooning, and you're gonna show me this?
It's.
Am I gonna have panic when I play this game?
You might.
I mean, you might.
It's
troubling.
it's like horror. It gets scary.
It's scary.
It is. That's actually really funny seeing the artwork of it and being like, no, this is a deep and it's horror.
Yeah, like
Really?
I don't know how.
Uncontrollably horrific, according to this Polygon little
Yes.
pop up right here.
I don't want to spoil. I don't know how they're gonna do it on PlayStation, but on PC, like it messes with your files,
Huh.
and that I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, this is something I definitely got to
Interesting.
lock my door when I play. 'cause now you got
I'd
me.
be very interested to hear you both play it and what you think. I'm glossing over what Joe just said because I
Brain
don't
is just in the
wanna-
gutter. I don't even know if that's what you meant, but
no, it's
that's
what he
where I
meant.
went.
It's what he meant.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not good in my room. I just don't want anybody. Let me clear my name. I just don't want anybody to know what I'm playing. I don't need to reenact like my like me being 13 and like my mom walking in. I made you PB&J, and then she's like, "What are you playing?" I'm like, "Mom, I can explain." Like, I don't need that type of iteration in my life right now.
Sorry for those in chat. Spoiler warning, I guess. It's been out for
Why?
a little bit. I thought people knew that twist.
There's a
It's
twist.
the file thing, like messing with files.
Oh,
Oh, well, I'm not going to play it on my computer anyway,
Yeah.
so.
yeah.
So,
All right. Well, there's a fan pack. Troublesome indeed. But you know what? You guys kind of sold me on it. I'll check a look.
yeah.
All right, gang. PlayStation 30th anniversary bundles. That's right. We finally got to it. They're awesome. They look great. You probably can't afford them, but they're here-ish. As of recording, we have some breaking news.
This is the tweet that I had pulled up before the show.
Ooh, okay. You want to read the tweet? Or shall I?
Well, this one comes from Wario. Apparently,
Okay.
in Australia,
Yep.
the regular PS5 Pro is $1,199.
Yep.
This 30th anniversary bundle in Australia is $1,649.95. So it's about a $500 upcharge.
That's right.
So expect that difference in American dollars. This might be $1,100. Oh, I'm sorry. That's for the full bundle. That's like with everything, the controller included, and the disk drive and everything. It's around that much. So okay, maybe it's not a full 500 just for the console, but why would you just get the console?
So
What does the bundle come with?
Bundle
So
comes
that's
with the DualSense, the PS5 Pro, the disc drive, the Edge controller, and I think a charging stand, if I'm looking at that image correct.
That's right.
GameStop also tweeted out that they're not holding pre-orders for this one.
Wait, what?
They're not. Let me pull it up. There's
Okay.
no pre-orders at GameStop for this one, unless they.
Oh, I know what they're talking about.
Is
So
it just for pro members, I guess.
so here's the deal, right? PlayStation announced a lineup of 30th anniversary PlayStation accessories, controllers, consoles. For the PlayStation 5 Pro, they only made 12,300 of these bundles. It comes with a grayed out version, PS1 gray version of the Pro, which we all agree looks gorgeous. I want it in my life ASAP.
I want the controllers real bad.
Same.
It is. They have not given out any official, as of this time, price of this, but it does seem like the very limited PS5 Pro with all those doodads we just mentioned and a PlayStation paperclip. Come on, Clippy, sit the down. You just been replaced. $1,200, and then a PS5 digital bundle, and this will be sold on PlayStation Direct. All these will be sold on PlayStation Direct, but this one on October 10th, you can pre-order at Best Buy, Amazon, GameStop, other retailers. This will include just your PlayStation 5 digital, but also with an external shell for if you want a disc drive for $500. And then, yes, you have a retro-inspired DualSense Edge, which might just be the sexiest controller I've ever seen. In fact, we can't show you the controller without blurring the image. It's not safe for work. It's beautiful. And then also a DualSense just classic, and I think that's going to retail for about $80. Of which I am getting. Will that be
phenomenal.
Available
outside of Direct? I hope
that will also be outside of a Direct on October 10th. And the PlayStation Portal, which we don't know if you can pre-order outside of a PlayStation Direct, also getting grayed out. And ooh wee, let me tell you,
I'm gonna be real sad if I don't end up with one of these controllers.
I need a controller for sure.
Like, unbelievably sad.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Green Gorilla Gamer writes, PlayStation 30th Anniversary Editions will be available in GameStop Canada. What are you planning on grabbing? I'll get a controller one way or the other, and possibly a portal. Ooh, I don't know about that. So are we all in agreement? We're gonna probably just get a DualSense. That's all we can muster.
Yeah,
That's fair. I have contacted my source of getting controllers from PlayStation Direct, Spam and Bamman. He is gonna try his best. And I said this. I go, try your best. If you can't get it, I won't hold it against you. You tried. A for effort. As of right now, they have not announced the time in which these pre-orders go live. Irritating as all hell, but that is because scalpers. And the reason why the bundle is so expensive is because of scalpers. So they're really trying their best to fight back the probable Russian bots that will use this money to go fund something awful. So
I remember the gorgeous PS4 Pro, I think it was, the like translucent like dark blue with like the gold accents. I wanted that so bad, but I could never find it. I had the controller. I got all the anniversary controllers before.
Yeah.
But this one, man, oh my God. And did you see the cable?
Oh, I was gonna lose it.
If you're not familiar, the cable looks like the old school PS1 plug.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude, let me tell you, I was like Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lives, sitting on that chair. I'm like, show me the cable. Oh, you dirty little girl. Like, let me tell you. Oh my God. It looks like, y'all, a PS1 like wire where you got the little PlayStation 1 plug like connected. It's so awesome.
A chunky boy at the end.
It's a chalky boy at the end. Oh my God. I wish I was rich. I wish I was a oligarch of some kind. I got my money through good, I guess.
I can't believe that bundle is like half of my paycheck for a month. I get paid once a month, and that's like half of it.
Yeah.
Listen, my Batman dreams also go into this. I get Batman, I get the suit and this stuff. Nagachaka writes in, can you please call and ask Herman Hulse why there isn't a 30th anniversary edition of the PSVR 2? Aw, Nagachaka, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
I wish there was.
I wish there was too. I wish. That thing sold. Okay, Last of Us Season 2 trailer might hit tomorrow because tomorrow is Last of Us Day. And when I mean tomorrow, I mean today, or depending on when you're listening, yesterday, a day ago, 2 days ago. Ooh-wee. I can't wait. I can't wait. Will we see Abby here, Light?
I think so. I think so. I don't think they'll like show who she is or what the significance is, but I think they at least show her face. And if you know, you know.
Exactly. Same, Kyle?
Yeah, we already saw a glimpse of her.
I mean, like, trailer-wise.
Well, in that, did we not get like a super fast cut season 2 trailer?
Maybe for the penguin, and I just didn't look.
With her underneath like the fence from the game, like the beginning of the game. I could have sworn that was a scene where we saw Caitlin Dever as Abby for a brief second.
I think maybe we see her for a brief. Just protect her at all costs.
Please,
I know.
Please.
Matthew Kennedy writes, "Hey, question for the Sony Pony Express."
Yeah.
Oh, you're in it in the fast version. So tomorrow is the Last of Us Day, and I'm sort of wondering what predictions you guys have for some cool merchandise that Naughty Dog releases. Do you think we'll see anything for season 2 in the show? Oh, we just answered that. And maybe an update on the PC version of Part 2. Maybe you have some wild predictions like surprise, Factions is really coming out, and a shadow dropping today. What say you three? As always, keep crushing it. Any predictions outside? I didn't even know the PC version didn't come out yet. That could happen. Yeah.
Outside of the trailer, I got nothing. I will buy whatever merch will be there that I think looks cool.
Fair.
I don't see anything super exciting.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right, Kyle. In news that you should know about, but shouldn't have probably been said. Hey, sometimes you can right the sins of your past. Rocksteady working on a new Batman game. It's claimed, this comes from Insider Gaming, but really Special Nick broke it. And again, maybe you shouldn't have. I think maybe that could have gotten him in trouble. I don't know. Rocksteady Studios could be returning to the Batman franchise. According to leaker and Ruber Mongrel, Special Nick, he understands that Rocksteady is in fact working on a new Batman game. On top of that, he thinks Sony is trying to make it play for exclusivity in some way. Quote, not sure which studio People Dreams is, but I heard Rocksteady are back making it, he said in a response to a tweet asking for fans to dream developers on the next Batman game. Quote, also, I think Sony are trying to money hat it. LOL. I think he's.
Can we get rid of that phrase too? I hate it.
Well, you know what? I think he's just making a little jab, and maybe he's not serious, maybe he is, but you know what? Do it. Other information about the new Batman game from Rocksteady would entail. The main question is, would it be a similar to the Batman games of the past, a single player game, or a live service route the parent company Warner Brothers is determined on keeping to.
Don't do it. Don't do the live service game, please.
Kyle, this is your baby, and
It is my baby.
Yeah.
I love me Rocksteady Batman games.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little weird without Kevin Conroy, if this is true. But I'm so down.
Yep.
Even if it's like a Batman Beyond Rocksteady game.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I'm McGinnis in the suit.
Yeah. They're the best at it. Like, say what you will about Suicide Squad, that city is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still had a ton of fun with that. I know people didn't like it.
Yeah.
I played it with friends. I had a fun time.
Mhm.
Was it what I wanted it to be? No. But was it fun? Yes.
Yeah.
That being said, go back to single player.
I've never listen, Kyle. Real talk. Just you and me here. We made such a good decision bringing on Light to the show. She's literally one of us.
Exactly.
You know?
One of us.
The vibes are immaculate. Yeah. So, like I liked Suicide Squad a great deal. Like truthfully, I'd never gotten deep into the Arkham series because back in the day, they just didn't speak to me combat wise. That has totally changed. I'm a changed man. But it was a game that I used to watch my brother play and we'd bond over. So I would really like to see them, perhaps their new game is a remaster of sorts. And if that's the case, I will gladly take a collection or two. And I just hope Logan doesn't play them because he doesn't like remasters.
There is already a PS4 collection.
There's a collection, but it's like ports of the game.
I see
Not like,
I see what you're saying.
you know, here's a 4K texture pack type of deal.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I would. Yeah.
And play
100%.
Origins too. It's worth it.
Please.
Yes, agreed. I really enjoyed Origins as well.
That said, for sake of time, I'm going to skip what you've been playing. We'll save that for next week. Just know that the pals from Pal World yearn for the mines.
Mhm.
They yearn for hard labor.
Mhm.
They don't need sleep. Work them
Mhm.
until they bleed. Okay?
And I'm excited to argue next week with Joe about how wrong he is on Plucky Squire.
Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah, no, we don't have time for that argument.
No, we
That's
don't.
spoiler. That's going to be a
we don't have
20-minute
time.
argument. All right. We might be down to 2 co-hosts after that because we may have killed one another. Here's the thing. Hey guys, are you holding on to anything in particular, like this cup? You're bracing for your desk? A tissue. Okay. Oh my God. We've really taken
I
this
still have
gooning
hidden
thing.
figures on my desk from last week. I haven't
Fair
put it
enough.
away yet.
It's inspiring and it's a beautiful tale. Prepare the drop. Here are the latest steals and deals coming to the PlayStation storefront. Bloomtown, a different story, comes to PS5. We have Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed comes to PlayStation 5. I'm excited. I want to check this out. I want to check it out real bad. Raytonus on PS4. Shadows of Doubt on PS5. And finally, EA Sports FC 25. Football club?
Yeah.
Football? Gotta bend it. PS4 and PS5.
Shadows
Ooh,
of Doubt, by the way, 6-1 Indie Showcase alum.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, I'm so proud of you guys. Absolutely crushing it. Let me
What
tell
was your
ya.
bird's name? The bird skeleton
PD.
dude?
Yeah.
I was both terrified and intrigued.
Wait till you see that thing in person. It is otherworldly in nature.
Spoiler alert, it's a new skeleton every show.
Oh, is it really?
Because Mike is not going to purchase a plane ticket for it to come go on the plane with him as he's
Why
traveling.
not? That
You
would
need
be
to
so.
raffle it off in whatever zone whatever area you record
It's
in.
currently in a dumpster somewhere in Brooklyn.
No! You all should have signed it and raffled it off to somebody.
That
in
would have been
Brooklyn.
fun.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. All right. Next time. All right. It's time for the last segment, but the favorite segment. It's time for the Sony Pony Express. Yeah.
Yeehaw.
That's right. That's right. Come on. Wow. Kyle, read them away.
T. Lee writes in, think we ever get a follow-up to Detroit Become Human? Game was amazing and the menu was even cooler. I've been waiting for something like it since then.
No, but you know
They're
what?
making that Star Wars game.
I hope they still are. I hope so. Detroit was not my jam,
Same.
but I'm happy that there's people that enjoy it.
I liked the
That's all.
demo when I played at PSX, but the full thing was just, it was okay.
I
So,
loved
Yotei.
it, but that was when I
Oh.
very first started my channel, so I was just branching out into my gaming.
Mhm.
So it definitely needs a replay because that was just
Fair.
so different for me that I would
Mhm.
think I was just blown away by like, this is so cool. I've never played anything like this before.
Yeah.
But I definitely need to do a replay for sure.
That's how I feel about Life is Strange because like I've never played a game like Life is Strange and like I'm like, oh, whoa. Like the closest like Oregon Trail when I was a wee tot, and like Life is Strange, if you haven't played it, like it is so goddamn beautiful. Like, yeah, get those tissues ready because you're gonna be crying.
Yeah,
so
I
good.
played the first one and
Yeah.
I'm torn. I know we don't really have time for this. I'm torn. I loved the ending of every chapter. The ending was phenomenal. And then the next chapter would start and I was like pushing myself through, and then the ending would ramp up and it was phenomenal. And then the next
Yep.
chapter would start and I'd push myself through. So at the end I'm like, yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
I don't love it as much as people wanted me to though, for sure.
All right. Oh,
But I
okay.
did
Fair.
cry a lot. That being said, tears were shed.
All right. Fair. Fair.
Una writes in, "Hey, you three, hope you're all doing well. My question this
Happy.
week is have you guys ever quote unquote stayed off social media the best you can for a game you're playing at the time? Today, the newest Trails game got released in Japan, and I have started to play it. And with that, I said to myself that I would try my best to stay off social media to avoid spoilers for all the mutuals I follow who are playing it too. With that, though, I throw the ball to you. When have you stayed off social media for a game release?"
Every time it's a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no,
I
you're
very
like you're like Mr. I don't care if it's spoiled. I want to see how they get there.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a monster.
Yeah, you are.
But there's also things in Astrobot that I've seen, and I'm like, I'll give you guys one more week, and then I'm gonna start sharing stuff, and you can't be angry with me. I've given you ample time
I
to
disagree.
give Astro a gun. You know? Yeah, every time when it's a single player game, it's actually also why I don't stream. Because it's like, man, if something I don't care if God of War gets spoiled for me, but like someone in the chat, it's gonna suck, you know? So yeah. What about you?
I think I talked about this God of War 2018 when I was the Facebook mod for the Kind of Funny Facebook group.
Mhm.
Somebody spoiled the God of War twist for me and for a lot of other people. They changed their name to I don't want
Something.
to spoil it,
Yeah.
but a character's name changes, and I got really, really upset. And
Kratos' real name is Curtis. There.
Last was part 2. That was another one because you even told me like, Kyle, don't go on anywhere, and I tried my damnedest, and it still got spoiled for me. Thanks, GameStop. But I think those are the two, and then like the bigger Marvel movies, I think are other ones where I just stay off completely until I see them.
Yeah. What about you, Light?
Nah, I just like play Russian roulette. I just go
Yeah.
on, and if I see a keyword, nope, scroll. Like, nope.
Oh
scroll.
wow, so your brain automatically goes, nope, skip.
Nope,
Nope,
scroll.
don't want to see.
Nope.
That's
I don't
that's a
even mute.
beautiful
I don't even
mind way
mute
of
words,
thinking
but
about it.
I genuinely have gotten very lucky.
Yeah.
Good.
Where I haven't really had spoilers for things. People have tried to spoil things in comments for games that I'm playing, but luckily I've got amazing mods, and my husband will read through comments and they'll be like, delete.
Nice.
So
Are you the one that like, man, if this gets spoiled, this sucks? Or are you like me who's broken inside? I don't feel it.
I I'm a heathen, so even with the books that I read, I skip to the end to see if there's a happy ending, and then I go back and then I read. I need to
okay.
spoil myself for
Okay.
certain things. So with game stories, I don't like to do that because people like to see my first time reactions,
Yeah.
and if it's been spoiled, obviously it's not that. But for like little things, some people don't even want to see like character creation, like oh spoilers, or they don't even want to see like levels or things. That to me isn't a spoiler. It's the big story beats that I just
Agreed.
don't want.
I'm with you on that one.
So it's easier for me to kind of avoid those. But I think the last time I did that was The Last of Us 2 when those pre-release spoilers came out. I just stayed off for like a couple days. But at that point, it was so early in my channel that it was easy for me not to go on. So
Yeah. Our brains work very similarly. Where it's just like if I see, my problem is like I'm the type of guy that like I'll mute someone and be like, oh, I can't see this comment. All right, let me punish myself. What does this dumb idiot say? Like it's my curiosity that kills me. But I'm like you, like tell me the end of it. I want to know how we got there. That's like the important thing to me. Interesting.
But if God of War was spoiled for me, I would have been very sad. That would have really been upsetting to me as well. Yeah, for sure.
Ghettoberry writes in, hey guys, do you recommend the DualSense Edge? Debating it for the 30th anniversary collection, and I'd appreciate all kinds of advice. The only multiplayer game I play is Fortnite, and I don't play it competitively. Cheers, folks. Well, guess what, Ghettoberry? Do I have the controller for you? It's got Fortnite graffiti. I think it's got the banana on it.
Yep, Banana Man.
It's light blue.
That's right.
Yeah.
I
don't have an Edge, so.
Listen, I've been edging for years, and let me tell you something. Over a year and a half. Thank you. This she's perfect. I tell you, she's perfect. This controller is my daily driver. I've literally used this controller every time I sit down to game. Every time I'm playing a multiplayer game, this is the controller I use. So much so that listen, I'll share a little bit of the shame. I don't think you're gonna be able to see it, but like some discoloration, some bubbles have started to lift from it. I literally use this controller all the time. Oh, it's bigger. It's actually this. It's probably this one.
I'm just like, how hard do you hold your controller?
Really hard. Really hard. I get really angry.
That's
really...
like when the girls are done playing Astrobot and they hand me the controller to put somewhere. I'm like, why is it so warm? How
you got warm hands, okay? But like, there's wear and tear. But when I tell you, this is even if all you play is Fortnite, like I play a lot of, it makes building so much easier. It makes ducking and dodging so much easier. And also you could preset the buttons. Shout out to M9 Prime who taught me this. You could reset any button that you want to be any button. So for example, the Neo games are dodge on the cross button. I can't do that. My brain automatically goes to circle. So you could remap your cross button to be your circle button. And you can set presets to whichever way you prefer to play. So if you're, wanting to play Call of Duty out after Fortnite, all you got to do is press on one of the little function pad buttons underneath the analog stick, and then you just press a button to whatever your preset is, and it just selects it for you. It's so easy. It's so simple. I love this thing so much.
I have a great idea for a potential video for you, Joe.
What's that?
You love Bloodborne so much.
Absolutely.
I think we run a poll.
Okay.
And we vote which buttons to change on the Edge controller, and you replay Bloodborne, but you don't know what button is what, and you gotta figure it out.
That's awesome.
Like up on the D-pad is dodge, cross is attack.
That would be amazing.
Oh god,
that'd be really fun.
Yeah, I like that. That'd be a zesty way of playing it. So, yes, I do. And Ghettoberry, just to let you know, I am planning to do a review on these, a good old-fashioned YouTube review. That's far more in depth in the coming weeks. But yeah. What say you?
But not least. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I just had the basic bitch kind. That's all I need.
I knew. I knew this question was for me.
Last but not least, Black Wyver writes in, hey, hope all are doing well. Hope the weather isn't too crazy anymore. Question for the show: with all these remasters or remakes that are launching, which game would you wish that rebooted change the narrative of the game because you loved everything else about it but the story. Cheers.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Interesting. And something about the story. Huh. I got a hot take.
Oh boy.
It's about Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not spoiling anything about it, but there is a certain midway thing that happens that gets a little bit crazy and kooky. And I would just like some of those characters or concepts to change so that they look cooler. Because in retrospect, they kind of look lame.
The first one or the second one?
Second one.
Okay. I know
Second
what you're talking about. Gotcha.
Yeah. There you go. And I would like them to focus more on the clan element in the next game. So I would say that I would focus it for more of Angela Bassett because, oh my God, Angela Bassett, you know? Respectfully, not respectfully, the woman is a class act. She should have won the Oscar. It was robbed. And she's also one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. So her. More of her. More of Angela. Put Angela in any game. Like, what say you? You could change anything. I've vamped enough. I know it's hard. It's difficult. Kyle is
Okay.
stoic.
I'm looking at my wall of games to see if anything speaks.
I
to
was
me.
trying to think through all of the games that I played.
Mhm.
All right. This I don't even know if I actually believe this. I'm just gonna say something. So thinking of the GTA games that I've played,
Ooh.
I loved the story of GTA 4.
Okay.
The GTA 5 was a ton of fun. The story, couldn't even tell you what happened anymore. Don't even care. Couldn't remember.
Yep.
I think I would like a GTA 4-esque story in GTA 5.
I like
Because
this.
GTA 5 cleaned up the mechanics. You did a lot of really cool, fun things. They added on to things you could do GTA 4. So the gameplay of GTA 5, amazing. The lines, the comedy, great. All the side stuff, awesome. But the main story, I couldn't even tell you what the main story was. But GTA
just
4's
really
main
like
story,
Trevor.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, fun fact, my best friend has a massive crush on Trevor. So I'll let that.
Why?
Well, like,
What?
I love her.
What?
I love her. She's like a sister to me. She finds Art the Clown very attractive. She's very open about this. Art the Clown from Terrifier. You could Google him if you don't know.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Yeah, she has him tattooed on the arm.
Okay. No more questions, Your Honor.
Yeah. Listen, I've been friends with her for so long. It's really hard to just drop her at this point.
She's
I'm all she's got.
you know she's really cool though. Because it's always the really cool ones who have questionable takes.
Yeah. No, yeah, she's definitely something. She's definitely something.
Listen, I'm not one to judge. I have a crush on a robot, okay? Who am I to judge?
No. The
Who am I
robot
to
thing.
judge?
The robot thing's gonna be normal in like 15 years into the future. Nothing's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be forever unsavory, you know? Kyle, we've bought you so much time.
And I legit don't have an answer.
Damn.
You know what? Just to say it, because I like the gameplay of it. The story is I'll see Destiny.
Oh,
Find a
okay.
I
new
didn't
way
even
to
know
kind of-
Destiny had a story, to be
Yeah,
fair.
so like,
Yeah.
I'm also like, while I love Souls games now, I love Elden Ring, I love Bloodborne.
Okay.
I
Tread
wish
lightly.
there was a little bit more public facing or outward telling of the story instead of diving into all the
I'll
items
allow it.
descriptions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So if I could reboot those just to have more of like a story through line and these cool, because like I watch RKG do playing Elden Ring every single week, and they are showing me things that I never experienced or learned about these characters, and I'm like, oh man, I missed it all because it's so big and I forget things.
Alex Smith has said something, and I can't believe you replied to it in the chat. Remember when Light asked if Legion was romanceable in Mass Effect?
Give me all the robot baddies.
You know what? Fair enough. And with that, that's been the trophy room this week. We've learned so much about each other. Some would say maybe too much. Before we before we go, let's spotlight all the awesome things you've done. Like, take it away. What would you like to spotlight today?
Go follow me over on YouTube if you wouldn't mind. That'd be really cool. I have a gaming channel at Lightweight Gaming, and I have a movie reaction channel at Lightweight Reacting. And gaming channel just hit 100,000. Movie channel is about to hit 50,000. I just started in January, so I'm just gonna toot my own horn because I never do that. I never do that. Go give me a follow. I'd really appreciate that because that's been exciting.
You work so hard, and you deserve it.
I work really hard.
Honestly, listen, and you're a mom. Like, that's nuts that you've done all that. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. Kyle, anything you'd like to spotlight before we get on out of here?
Myself, Mr. Case up pretty much everywhere. Please go watch the 6-1 Indie Showcase if you haven't already. It debuted last Thursday. It's awesome. It's our highest viewed showcase yet. I think we're at 24,000 on ours and 11,000 on the IGN one. So pretty cool. So yeah, go check out all the really dope indies. If you don't want to watch it and just want to see what was shown, go to 61indie.com and we have the full run of everything that was shown and developer interviews and previews and all the things. I would like to say that I can rest, but we're planning the Indie Game Awards on December 19th, so more late nights for me.
Dude, and let me tell you, the 6-1 Indie Showcase, holy shit, dude. You guys truly crushed it. When I saw, I think I texted you guys. I'm like, you guys are at 15,000 people watching concurrently.
Mm-hmm.
How nuts that is, and what an accomplishment!
Cool. Yeah,
it is very cool. You guys, man, start doing victory laps if you've earned it.
I need to sleep.
More
first.
like victory naps.
Yeah,
Take victory naps.
Light. Absolutely.
Victory naps. Listen, I have no accolades. I got a promotion at work, but that was like weeks ago, and
That's still exciting though.
yeah, but I haven't seen the pay raise yet, so it didn't really happen. You know, you can follow me over at The Bad Place at Mr. Badbit. You can follow me at The Good Place Threads at Mr._Badbit. You can follow this show if you liked what you watched. Please hit like, share, subscribe over on YouTube. If you liked what you heard, please hit that follow button and give us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And with all that said, and with all that out of the way, we love y'all. Keep you what's about you. Keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation. See you guys.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
We are off.
Ooh wee. Let me get up. Oh.
Stretch those legs.